We addicted to fast cars, bad bras, late nights, last calls, alcohol, bad. Just scrolling through the phone log, hit 'em up, all my pick 'em up. We bout to have a time tonight. Sure you keep that burner tuck, cause dick like you creep low. Say motherfuck the PO and the judge. But if they come with us, just know it's love. I'm saying just because. Yeah. Cause we been coming from welfare, medical, healthcare, living in the hood is hell here, hell yeah. I'm saying just because. Love. I watched my mama and my daddy struggle with the bottle. I watched my cousins and my brother banged out full throttle. Driver's seat, we bout that action, we ain't sitting idle. And even when they melanated, still a rival. I ain't about killing, but I'm about survival. And we be praying to the Lord, but still ain't read the Bible. And put that pedal to the floor with a savage title. Hope we don't crash out. Shawty out, seeking attention, she got out.
What is freezing? Does he know you using that? Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Unapologetic with Mandrell and Shushu. I'm your host, Mandrell, and this is my co-host, Shushu. Her real name is Shamaria and all. So, thank you for coming. All 6 of you.
It don't matter what's going on. What's going on?
Matter?
It's a Jedi Mike. What's going on, Jedi Mike?
Hope you are safe up in New York. Yeah, she's safe.
Yeah, I'm good. It's crazy. Like it's just like this big haze over the city, and it does look a little creepy outside. They just been telling everybody like to really stay indoors, and especially if, for anybody who has like any kind of respiratory issues. I got real bad sinus issues, so I've really been trying to stay in the house or inside. So. Yeah, but it's I'm hopefully it'll blow over in the next day or so, but I don't know. We'll see. What's going on, everybody? Thank y'all for rolling through Scam Likely. What's going on? Dr. Nakumbe, how are you? Corey Haga, Haga. How are you, Corey? As always, thank you so much for rolling through. Lady Navoa, what's going on, sis? Thank you for coming through. Black man say it's the zombies. Hey, listen. I don't want to talk about those zombies until it all blow over. You never know. It look like that out there, though. Yes, the New York has an official dust mine. Yes, it does. It does. It definitely looks like that out there. Zavon Bryant, what's going through? What's going on, Vaughn? Thank you for coming through. Yeah. Come on, what's wrong, bro?
Nothing. No, I was editing some videos today, and it's some stuff that I just don't find funny. And it's kind of got me. It's because it's stuff that makes my blood boil. But I have to do it because it people have to be shown.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And by the way, to everyone, tonight is going to be ran rather differently, okay, than we normally do. Okay, when we drop the link, if you do not have a solution, do not come on my panel. Right. I say again, do not come on my panel tonight if you do not have a solution. You want to come up here and talk about an issue? We're not doing that. Mm-hmm. Have a solution, locked, cocked, and ready to fire.
Yeah.
Keep your shot group tight because I'm going to drop you tonight. You come up here with that bullshit, I don't care who you are. You're out.
Okay. Well, all right.
Come up here with a solution tonight or not at all.
Okay.
So that's So that's the thing. It's about solutions. And the goal of tonight's show is to get people to think in a different fashion. It's to teach people to think in a different fashion. And I'm going to do it without them even noticing. Even after the show's over, they're not going to realize they did it.
Okay.
They're not even going to know. And the thing, you know, the sad part is, I'm telling people this, and they're still not going to notice.
Okay.
All right. So tonight, what we're going to do is, my sister and I, we're going to name some issues. And that's what you do. If you don't want to talk about an issue we brought up tonight, bring up an issue. We don't need you to flesh out what the issue is or why. We've done that to death. I guarantee you, none of you are coming up here with a new issue that we haven't talked about, or you haven't talked about on another panel, or we haven't seen another panel. None of you are doing that. So if you bring up the issue, then right after that, state your solution. And your solution is what we're going to be discussing. Whether it be why that solution. No, let's not even get into that. Nope. That's a slippery slope. Implementation, execution, preparation. Okay. What parts of the nuances of the issue will your solution solve? How much of the nuances of your issue will your solution solve? We can get into that. Definitely.
Yeah.
But we're not going to start pointing fingers and blaming anybody. No one is to blame for anything tonight, unless my sister and I do it.
Okay.
I'm letting them know now. Well, you Mandrell, you did it. It's my show. I get to do what I want.
Oh Lord.
Have your own show if you don't like my rules. So I'm letting you all know now. If you don't have a solution, do not come on my panel tonight. I don't care if you and I got to run the show tonight. Shoot. That's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. And that just proves my point that people don't know how to think solution based. They think they do, but they actually don't. They just talk about the problems and point fingers. So, and plus, I'm just tired of playing along with that, to be honest. I really am. Because that's what I've been doing this whole time, just going along with it. Because people don't seem to understand anything else. And it's because they don't know how to think in a different fashion. So that's what tonight's show is about.
Okay. Can we get into the show?
We can.
Okay.
Shout out to Corey Hager, Lady Navoa. Thank you. Yeah, everyone in the chat. Jedi Mike is in here for some reason. Jedi Mike he got married and left us.
Okay.
I don't blame you. Look, I don't blame him. I don't blame you.
No, he still does reviews and stuff though.
Yeah, that's his channel. Shout out to OGJ Speed. Now tonight, my topic that I'm going to bring up tonight is going to be the black image. I bring this up tonight because this is something that I've had to deal with my entire life on both ends.
Yeah.
Too dark for white people, too white for black people. None of them accepted me completely. And it hurts worse from black people because those are my own people.
Right.
And don't nobody hurt like family.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not the only one who's endured this. Not the only one who's experienced it.
Yeah.
It's something that still goes on to this day. You hear crazy stuff. Like as an adult, I've heard, you talk white.
Right. So right.
What? We're adults. I mean, you never heard. It's like they never heard of vernacular or vocabulary.
Right. Well,
you know what I'm saying? So, and then the black image. I think one of the overall to pinpoint an issue with the black image, one of them at least that I'm going to talk about is how the rest of the world sees us. That's why black image, in my opinion, is so important. People you shouldn't worry about what other people think of you. You most certainly should, because the way I speak has gotten me through some really big doors with some really important people.
Right? Yeah, it does.
You know, that's why it's important to keep your image in mind and know how the rest of the world views you. What do you think?
Right, and I agree 100%. How you put yourself out there says a lot about you. You know, from the way you speak to the way, like the clothes you wear. A lot of people don't realize that says a lot about you. Even from how you walk, literally, that says a lot about you. So the way you present yourself says to the world, this is who I am. This is what I think of myself. and this is how I want to be seen.
Right. And what I don't like is how comfortable people of other nationalities have gotten with appropriating Black culture to the point where they use the N-word. This is a word that I'm personally trying to get out of my vocabulary completely.
Yeah.
But it's a habit you've been doing your whole life. So it's going to take a lot of effort to stop completely.
Right. Yeah. Well, I know it's supposed to be solution based, but I think there's something that we do have to put out there. Everything ain't gonna have a solution. Like even in mathematics, you have like some formulas, some problems that are called no solution, because no matter how you try to solve it, there is no solution. It's unsolvable.
Yeah, there's some like that. But let me show you.
And as far as the N-word, I think that's one of those problems. It's unsolvable.
Probably, yeah. It's too embedded in our lexicon. However, I would like to give people a demonstration of the effects of that. Roll Exhibit A.
Listen.
Well, I wrote this song for the Christian youth. I want to teach kids the Christian truth. If you want to reach those kids on the street, then you got to do a rap to a hip-hop beat. So I gave my sermon an urban kick. My rhymes are fly, my beats are sick. My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's because Jesus Christ is my nigga.
You see what I'm saying?
Where did you get that from?
You see what I'm saying? Listen. Listen.
Where did you get that?
You see what I'm saying?
Where did you get that? Where did you get that? You know what?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There's more. Roll Exhibit B. It gets worse. Roll Exhibit B.
You want
and this is all when I was editing this video.
Get off the internet.
Now I'ma pass the mic to my lovely wife. She's a fly MC and the light of my life. So to bust a rhyme without further ado, take it away, Mary Sue.
Jesus Christ is my nigga. He's the son of the original G. And he was sent to earth to elucidate the way that we should be. What? Like if another MC says you're a freak, you're a lame butt rapper and your rhymes are weak. I don't get mad and I don't critique. I forgive him and turn the other cheek. I don't blaspheme and I don't brag. I don't cuss and my pants don't sag. I do exude a little Christian swag and I'm proud to be an American.
Jesus Christ is a nigga. Let his light shine through ya. Let his love pop a cap in your butt and say hallelujah.
You can stop it.
This is the effect. No, this you're laughing. But listen, you have no idea how hard it was to edit a video because again, stuff like that makes my blood boil.
I'm sorry.
I can't stand watching it. I can't stand it.
Lord Jesus.
But no, laugh if you want to.
Hallelujah. And may you raise your hand, say hallelujah. Come on.
The thing is, the unmitigated gall to think that that's okay. Like you're that comfortable. Who can't? I don't understand how you could get that comfortable to do that. Like I really don't. Like they gotta know it's offensive.
Well,
they gotta know.
Not making an excuse for it. I'm just saying I think the intention was a good intention. Like the whole point behind it is to try and get young people into it. What you talking about, Tommy B? Listen, let the Lord Jesus Christ pop a cap into ya. Raise your hands and say hallelujah. What you talking about?
I can't. Yeah, stuff like that makes my blood boil. I can't stand it. It's crazy. The whole
all they know is like the younger generation is into hip hop music. They're into rap, so they feel like a way to reach them is through like rap. So
okay, cool. But if you think that's bad, this whole mischaracterization of the American black person. I said black person, not men or just women, black person, that's both of them, has reached international shores. Would you like to see? Roll Exhibit C.
Why I knew this was gonna come from Asia for real.
Good morning, nigga. Good morning to you, nigga. Your stock went down, nigga. Motherfucking Fujitsu Heavy Industries, one crazy nigga. Damn, this stock market is one unpredictable nigga.
Is that a real show?
Okay, listen, people, because I'm going to roll that again in case people missed, because people didn't miss that. Let me give you some context. That is an actual pilot for a television series in Japan. A real, no BS pilot for a television show in Japan. It's called, I think it's called Morning Breakfast. Would it be okay for others to say we're not? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. You got to come up and give me some more context, Doc. Listen, yeah. There's a lot more to that video. It gets even more ridiculous because the mother is there and she's cooking chicken and waffles, but the chicken and waffles is boneless, skinless chicken breast that she chopped up and pan fried. It wasn't deep fried. So they don't even understand when we say chicken and waffles, we mean deep fried chicken, right? It's ridiculous. Okay, this is the effect that of our behavior, and that's how the world views us. Would you like to know how they got to that point? Roll Exhibit D.
Oh Lord.
This is how it got there. Roll Exhibit D.
Yeah. Motherfucker. What's up, nigga? Gangsta rap, nigga. Nigga. I'm 100% nigga. Nigga. I'm 200% nigga. Nigga. Why do police hate niggas? Nigga. The haters cause our dicks is bigger.
Yeah, I stopped that one there too. That's an actual whole song.
Yeah, I've heard that.
That is an actual whole song, people. It's not that short. Some stuff I have a tolerance for, and once I've had enough, I just leave it where it is. And unfortunately, I had to use that as an example because that's what people see when they see us. That's what they hear when they hear us talk. Yeah. That's what they think gangster rap is. That's what they think hip hop is in general.
Yeah.
Now, for the sake of, I really don't want to run them again, but for people who missed it, run Exhibit C one more time.
Wow. Low than 100%.
Good morning, nigga. Good morning to you, nigga. Your stock went down, nigga. Motherfucking Fujitsu Heavy Industries, one crazy nigga. Damn, this stock market is one unpredictable nigga.
Yeah, there's an entire episode of this nonsense from that show.
I am so lost for it.
That is an entire, and then here's Tommy B. That light where you slap. Tommy! That's what I was laughing at earlier. That's what I was laughing at just a few seconds ago. Yeah, that's what made me chuckle. I mean,
No, no.
That's
no.
what made me chuckle. I mean,
That is horrible. That is awful.
But like I said, that show, that is again, I edited that video, and that's all. I don't think any more is necessary because it does get worse. Is there the part? Listen, there's no part to that show other than just to say the word. Like, there's no reason why you say that word that many times, other than just because you think it's okay to say it.
Yeah. I would say this. Like, yes, you hip hop culture, Black culture, I guess you could say, has had an effect all over the world. Like, even from like dance, especially like you got, especially in Asia, you got them kids over there like who can, when I say they got rhythm, got skill, and it's all a hip hop dance technique. There are a lot of parts of our culture that they do embrace and they do like. I hate that it's that. I don't know. I remember being an undergrad and them having a discussion with us about, looking at the kind of roles that you're offered and the kind of roles you accept. And I remember Angela Bassett was saying, they were talking about a quote that she said that certain roles she wouldn't take because if they play this, like when they play that movie on the opposite side of the world, for someone who has never met a Black person, never come in contact with a Black person who isn't familiar with Black people, that's going to be their idea or their perspective of Black people, that role that they see her playing. And she was like, she didn't want to be a contributor to that. And, I agree. God, that is.
I just want to say, if I can say, he says, "Dissa racist channel now." Dissa. And then look at the channel. It's not all caps. The H is lowercase. Noble, you're not helping with the Black image.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm just saying. And here's the thing.
I do agree. We do have to take control of our image. We do have to take a lot more pride in our image. I think that the horrible part about and one added burden about being Black, not just in America but in the world, is that everything you do is judged.
Okay,
like everything.
Yeah,
like everything.
I gotcha. Here's the thing.
And then it's being turned negative. And so it gets to a point where you just can't live life. Like even with, the comments, the comment section and trolling, like it's like we can't laugh and just have fun because it's like that's taken to be seen as, oh, see, that's how they all are. That's how all of them are, but I do think there should be more positive images of us out there to balance it out so that we can be seen as people, as opposed to just being seen as a whole bunch of negative stereotypes.
Okay, here's the thing, because what we're doing is we're sliding into the whole talking about the issue thing that I said we were not going to do. So we're going to move on into solutions now that we've fleshed out the issue. My fleshing out of the issue, because I just pointed out what the rest of the world sees us as. Brazilian butt lifts. That whole thing, the whole stuff in it, because it's about the image. I mean, the thing is, people see that, and now you have people of other races trying to do it. You know what I mean?
But that's cultural appropriation because it's called Brazilian.
That's not
butt lift.
Okay, but how many Brazilians?
Where we getting it from?
No, we're not getting it from Brazil. No, Brazilians don't walk around like that.
But I'm saying that the title. Listen to the title of it.
That's just a title.
Butt lift. Who we getting it from? It ain't called African American butt lift. It ain't called butts from Africa. The African butt lift surgery. It's Brazilian butt lift.
Yeah, but you don't see a bunch of Brazilian women walking around like that. Anyway,
she was right.
The thing is, it comes down to insecurities that's been passed down and taught A lot of insecurities have been taught to us, even as children. Like, for example, you have like some siblings, and then you have like, say, the aunts and uncles come over and say, well, that child is prettier than that one, or this kid is more handsome than that kid. You know what I'm saying? Or, well, you're ugly. Like, we talk like that to each other when we shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Or remember when we was growing up and people used to talk about me not sagging my pants? And I was like, it was like so uncool that I didn't sag my pants and I didn't give a shit. I still want to walk around like that.
Right.
And I told him flat out, I don't care what you say, man. I ain't walking around my pants. Hey, I just know. So it comes from a long line of insecurities. Mm-hmm. And again, this is no new conversation.
Right. It's not new.
It's not. The solution is not new.
Right.
Some of us had grandparents and parents who taught us the solution and raised us on the solution. Others of us were not so fortunate.
Right.
And it's not that they meant any harm. I'm not saying the parents who didn't teach their kids that meant any harm. I'm not saying that at all. Mm-hmm. Most people are just trying to make it through life. You know what I'm saying? And along the way, they forget certain things along the way. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, paying the bills or putting food on the table is more important than other things. I'm not trying to make excuses for them. I'm not trying to say anyone's worse than the other. I'm not saying that, people. Please try to understand where I'm coming from and the context of which I speak.
Right.
Because I mean no harm. However, there's one solution I want to present to everyone tonight. Roll solution 1. Pay attention. Roll solution 1, people.
Oh, Lord.
I'm really in no mood. I don't know what's going on.
Butts from Africa. It's not called Butts from Africa. Just saying.
Okay, who is in the back there? Roll solution. It's titled Solution 1. How about we click on that? Okay. Today. Or at least let me know if there's a problem back there. Let me know what's going on.
He says, I don't have that one.
How do you not? Oh, yeah. Sweet Jesus.
Sweet Jesus.
All right, anyway, roll solution 2 then. Let's go with that. For fuck's sake.
He said he has the exhibits only.
Where are the other 2? Those are the most important ones. How do you not have that? And let's sit them right along with the rest of the stuff. And wait, why are you getting these messages and I don't? And I'm not getting right here. Wait, why are you getting these messages and I'm not?
It's in the chat.
It's not in the chat.
Oh, is it? Yeah, that's what I said.
Sweet gee. It's a whole Martin Luther King speech and whatnot. Where he's talking about
belief in your own dignity, your own worth, and your own somebodyness. Don't allow anybody to make you feel that you are nobody. Always feel that you count. Always feel that you have worth. And always feel that your life has ultimate significance. Now that means that you should not be ashamed of your color. You know, it's very unfortunate that in so many instances, our society has placed a stigma on the Negro's color. And you know, there are some Negroes who are ashamed of themselves. But don't be ashamed of your color. Don't be ashamed of your biological features. Somehow you must be able to say in your own lives and really believe it, I am black but beautiful. And believe it in your heart.
Yeah. So when it comes to our self-image, that really has a lot to do with our self-esteem. I already showed you the videos of what the results were, how the rest of the world sees us. You know what I'm saying? And so speaking specifically to the ladies, the whole thing with I get what guys are talking about with well, I don't want a woman wearing a bunch of wigs, stuff like that. I'm like, listen, does your lady work too? Yeah. Well, maybe she maybe she doesn't have time. You know what I'm saying, to do all that with her hair. Maybe she doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It could be a myriad of reasons. She's got stuff to do too, especially if she's working and you got a family. She has to go to work, tend to the kids, all that stuff too.
I think it's more so that they have a problem with the wigs that look bad.
I don't have a problem with wigs.
That are like, it's obvious it's a wig. It's obvious it's natural hair. It's obvious that if I put my hair right here and tug a little bit on the end of it, it's gonna fall off. Like, I think it's those. Because like I said, you do have some wigs out here, like, you can't tell the difference with this wig was natural hair, it's, but I don't think there's much of a problem with those. But it's more so like the people who just buy some hair and throw it on the head, like they don't care. So
yeah, and I just got noticed that we can't roll play solution 2 for some reason. That's been blocked for whatever reason. I don't know. Some YouTube nonsense.
Yeah.
But in any case, that's my thing. And let's solve for the reason why I played that solution is because that's my solution. It starts with self. It starts with self-esteem. Right. And that's something that we haven't been inundated with for the most part. And it starts from way back in the day where, all we knew was darkness. All we knew was strife and hardship and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't have opportunities. You couldn't go to college. There's certain jobs you couldn't have. And even if you're qualified for the jobs, people of a particular race wouldn't allow you to have those jobs, even if you're overqualified for it. So it starts. Well, hold on, let me finish. So that, after so much of that, it does affect your perception of the way things are. And you just want your kid, if you're a parent, you just want your kid to be safe, for number one, and you want them to be able to take care of themselves and a family if they can, So you teach them to go for certain jobs. Go for this job, go for that job. But then as time moved on, more opportunities came available to us, more doors open to us, you know what I'm saying? So some people kept teaching the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's just one issue, but so my solution is, people, start telling your kid how awesome they are as soon as you can, and as often as you can. Get them tutors, and don't let them say the N-word. Taru, shout out for the $10 super chat. We know what the solution is, but too many people can't practice what they preach. That's absolutely true. We all try though. We all should try though, Taru. I try. And I say this on this panel all the time. Hey, I don't hit every target. Sometimes I miss. Sometimes I may say things that are contradictory, or sometimes I might, may sound hypocritical, or whatever the case may be. Or sometimes I'm just flat out wrong about something. But when someone brings me new information, okay, now new evidence has been presented to me. I have to not be so filled with my own ego to look at that information, say, hey, okay, I got this new evidence. I was wrong. Now let me add this to my own perspective and my own perception and make changes accordingly.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, nothing an exterminator won't cure. But you are in New York. And OB64 light skinned God. I don't know about the God part. That title only belongs to me. And no one. That was a joke, everybody. Good grief! I'm trying to lighten everything up. So I know I picked a difficult issue to tackle and come up with solutions with. It's not easy to find a solution with it because this is going to take several solutions. One is to start early with high self-esteem talk. That's one solution. Okay. What do you think a solution is? Because it's multi-pronged. There's a lot that goes to this. I don't mind wigs, but I like the wet look in the bikini by the pool.
Corey said you don't mind wigs, okay?
Okay, I don't mind them either. I mean, you know.
That's what they doing anyway, Trey. He said everybody do what they want. They want to do.
Oh yeah. So Trey didn't see the evidence. Okay, Trey, since you missed it, roll Exhibit A.
Oh Lord, don't. Oh God, we really got to do that. Mangas, what's going on?
Yeah, because I mean, people wrote in.
Well, I wrote this song for the Christian youth. I want to teach kids the Christian truth. If you want to reach those kids on the street, then you gotta do a rap to a hip-hop beat. So I gave my sermon an urban kick. My rhymes are fly, my beats are sick. My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's 'cause Jesus Christ is my nigga.
Yeah.
Jesus is my homie. I heard Jesus is my homie.
Yeah.
He can't be my homie.
Yeah, that happened.
My big homie. Yeah.
I really don't want to do this. Roll Exhibit B. Because the reason why I'm doing this, people, is because we're about to drop the link. And like I said, holy shit. And I want everyone to see this.
Now I'ma pass the mic to my lovely wife. She's a fly MC and the light of my life. So to bust the rhyme without further ado, take it away, Mary Sue.
Jesus Christ is my nigga. He's the son of the original G. And he was sent to earth to elucidate the way that we should be. What? Like if another MC says you're a freak, you're a lame butt rapper and your rhymes are weak. I don't get mad and I don't critique. I forgive him and turn the other cheek. I don't blaspheme and I don't brag. I don't cuss and my pants don't sag. I do exude a little Christian swag and I'm proud to be an American.
Jesus Christ is a nigga. Let his light shine through ya. Let his love pop a cap in your butt and say hallelujah.
You can stop it.
Let his love shine through you. Let him pop a cap in your behind. Raise your hands and say hallelujah. Let's go.
Roll now, Trey.
I probably shouldn't be laughing at that. I just gave up, and I'm sorry.
Now look.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Sorry, y'all. Cut my camera off.
No. Come back up. People need to know that you're laughing.
I stick by it. I call you a handkerchief head Negro.
Yes. Sorry. Okay. All right.
You all right, baby?
I got it together there.
Do you? You sure?
It's been 15 years. I be writing rhymes for Jesus.
You sure? You okay? No, you're not okay.
I'm sorry. I'm good. Okay.
Okay. Now that was it. Trey. Now Exhibit C is keep in mind, this is a real live pilot. Real live pilot of an actual TV show in Japan. Roll Exhibit C. This is real.
Good morning, nigga. Good morning to you, nigga. Your stock went down, nigga. Motherfucking Fujitsu Heavy Industries, one crazy nigga. Damn, this stock market is one unpredictable nigga.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrible.
Trey, that was real. It was filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Yeah.
Information man, I don't find it funny at all either. Yeah, Harris Trap Media. This is why you should come to my show and get here on time so you can see this kind of stuff.
First of all, how you doing, Information Man? How you doing, Harris Trap?
Right. This is how the rest of the world sees us, Information Man.
You right.
So my question of the night is, how do we solve for that? But before we get to that, would you like to know why people see us like that? Roll Exhibit D. Because this is all they hear and see when they see us.
Now
I said D.
Mike to my lovely wife. She's a fly MC.
No,
and the light of my life.
stop it. I said Exhibit D, as in Delta.
I'm in trouble. Hey, listen, I didn't laugh at the show, okay? But that rap, I'm sorry. Stop. Boo your roll call.
No.
My name is Rosa. Yeah, and I'm supposed to.
Well, I mean, listen, if you roll Exhibit D, like I said.
Yeah. Motherfucker. What's up, nigga? Gangsta rap, nigga. Nigga. I'm 100% nigga. Nigga. I'm 200% nigga. Nigga. Why do police hate niggas? Nigga. They hate us cause our dicks is bigger.
That's horrible.
Right. So that's all they see and hear when they see us. And I would like to know what you all think a solution would be. And again, you're not talking about issues tonight. If you do not have a solution, don't come on my panel. If you do not have a solution, do not come on my panel tonight. You will be removed.
The solution, the problem is like the solution is like it goes so deep that I don't think it can be fixed if we really being real. Because
that's not the point.
You're talking about you have to adjust mindsets.
Right. That's not the point.
Not only like, you know, at first it does start at home. It does start with us as a people. We have to adjust our mindset. Yep. But when you talk about people who like girls who have absolutely no problem going to an airport or going simply to the store with a bonnet on their head. I'm talking about something that you're supposed to wear to sleep, to protect your hair. Like you ain't, I'm sorry. I don't know how you fix that.
Well, that's what this discussion is about. Let's discuss solutions. Whether you can fix it or not is not the point. Mm-hmm. If you think of it this way, if you did have the answer, what would it be?
Yeah, to change people's perspective. Number one, our own.
Right. What parts?
Number one, taking more pride in ourselves, holding ourselves like well, stop the buffoonery like that. And I would take the N word out of our vocabulary because the bottom line is it's not a good word. If I can use it like you use it to one another, but like the first time another race uses it, it's offensive or you getting angry, like then it's not a good word. It's not a term of endearment. We got to stop that. Number one, it's just not. So
you just came up with 3 solutions right after you said you didn't have one. Did you notice it? Wait, here's the question. Did you notice? No, you didn't. You didn't even notice. And that's the point of tonight's show. Yeah. To get you to think in a different fashion. That's why I told people, you don't have a solution, you're getting dropped. Right. And you're not getting 8 years to describe what the problem is.
Yeah.
You do too much of that. If you're going to take a long time to talk about anything, talk about your solution and how it will work.
Right.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Information man, I don't find any of it funny either. I really don't. And that wasn't the point. The point wasn't to be funny. Editing those videos was not the easiest thing because, like I said, stuff like that makes my blood boil.
Yeah.
I can't stand people of other races making fun of black people. I can't stand it. Can't stand it.
Yeah.
I don't like it when black people make fun. It's even worse to me when black people make fun of other black people for their intentions of being harmed. Now, if we just joning each other, cool. Mm-hmm. Jokes is jokes. Mm-hmm. Jokes are jokes. You're just having fun, right? You're just having fun, joning on each other, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that at all. But if you're saying it to be hurtful or to put someone else down,
right?
Like, I don't like it when people look down on poor people. Yeah. Why are you looking down on poor people?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why are you looking down on someone else who's black? I mean, you're black too.
Right. Well, people make the world go round. People at every
and people
socioeconomic level. So
right, and the thing is, it's not like black people as a whole have been in our position where we are now. And let us not forget, people, that no matter how on top of the mountain you are, you're only one mistake from being dirt poor.
Right.
I don't care where you are on the social. Jay-Z, he's one mistake from being dirt poor.
Okay.
One mistake, and Kanye found out real quick. This whole thing that happened to Kanye, believe it or not, that wasn't a fix. That was a warning.
Right.
That was a flex. That was a flex. That's to show him. Okay. Listen, this is what we can do to you.
Okay. Flex.
And that's all it was, a flex. Now, if the flex is that hard, what do you think the actual punishment gonna be?
Okay.
But again, that's the image that people post up on television as what a black man, you know what I'm saying, as how black people are. Because that's the way, and you have to take it in that context because that's what everyone else sees. And I just showed you example of black or white people. The one that blows people's mind in the chat and mine is the one is that television show in Japan.
Yeah, that was wow. That was
And keep in mind, I cut a lot of that out. It was a whole 30-minute episode.
Yeah.
You didn't even see the mother.
Oh God.
And chicken and waffles and all that stuff. I mean, see, it's yeah. But my thing is, okay, so
yeah, see, that's a bad thing about stereotypes because see now I don't feel comfortable eating fried chicken around white people. I'm sorry, that may sound messed up, but I got a right to eat chicken like everybody else. Hell, white people eat chicken. They like chicken.
They do. They like fried chicken too. They like the they don't. But they do. They'll tear it up.
Okay.
They'll tear it up. And then stereotype us. They eat watermelon too. Guess what? They eat watermelon too.
Yeah, that right. It's just I don't know.
Here it is right there. Why the hell are we worried about what they think? Because they're the ones in power. You want a bank loan? Okay, nobody's going to black banks for loans. I don't know why. You should, but black banks don't get the support that they should.
Right. Yeah.
People go to JP Morgan Chase, they go to Wells Fargo, they go everywhere else.
Yeah.
But black banks do not get the support that they should have.
Yeah.
He asked him for the bow. I don't understand what that means. But so your solutions again.
Mm-hmm. What the solutions I said about how to fix our image?
Yeah, now fix your image.
Yeah, I definitely think, for instance, with the clip you showed with Martin Luther King and him saying, never forget that no matter what, you are somebody. That makes a huge difference. And I don't think that the older people got enough credit because even with our grandparents, I remember grandmama saying, she was no matter what, always hold your head up high. Mm-hmm. She was if you carry yourself like you're somebody and know that you're just as good as the next person, nobody will know how much money you got in your pocket. Nobody knows what you really have. Always know that you're somebody and carry yourself like you're somebody. And that made a difference. She was saying how that's what her father would tell them, and passing down those messages, affirming, the next generation, instilling that in them, that makes a difference. I can say this, what was it? There's a whole campaign called My Black is Beautiful. what is it? It's not by Essence. Is it Essence or Ebony? One of the magazines. They sponsor like the whole My Black is Beautiful campaign. That's one thing that I can say to our credit that is I think is a positive message. Also, like, carrying ourselves with a sense of pride and not like just walking out into the world looking any kind of way. That makes a difference. And stop using the N-word. Like but it's not a term of endearment. It's not, people.
Yeah, it's not something that's going to fix itself overnight. It's something it takes something that's that big of a habit. Like I said, I'm trying myself, and it still comes out. You know what I mean?
Right.
It still comes out.
It's funny how like back in the day, like in the 70s, like hey. They say, hey, jive, you know what I'm saying? Hey, brother, hey, sister, stop all that jive. You know what I mean? I mean, they found other ways to other terms of endearment to address one another.
Like calling each other brother.
Yeah, call it, that's my brother, my sister,
Okay, so that's another one you came up with.
The N-word, like
find something else to call each other as opposed to the N-word.
Right, yeah.
Okay, that's another one you come up with. That's now
nothing positive about that.
When it comes to changing people's mindset, how would you do that? I already said start them when they're young with a lot of high self-esteem talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk positively to your children. You know what I'm saying? Tell them that they can do this as opposed to you can't do that.
Right. Well, in order for this to really be like solution focused, like the conversation to stay solution focused, we have to assume that we're addressing an audience that wants better. Because part of the problem too is you're fighting an upward battle with a portion of the community that doesn't want better because they don't think that they have to do any better. It's like, for instance, like if anybody watches the Kendra G show, she incorporates a question now on her dating show where she asks people to list 3 flaws that they think they have. And most people, if they do name a flaw or come up with one, they only name like 1, maybe 2. They can't even come up with 3. Very few people, maybe like 2 or 3 people have actually listed 3 flaws that they have or 3 things that they think they need to work on. But most people don't realize that the issues that they have. Or if they do, they don't want to be honest with themselves and like really just, admit, okay, hey, this is a problem, this is an issue I have. And a lot of people, the ones that do realize they have a problem, don't want to fix it. So that's part of the problem. Hey, Dr. Steele. Number one, we have to admit that, like, you have to understand that there's an upward battle against the people who don't want change and who don't want to see anything better.
Okay, cool. So how would you counteract that?
How would I counteract that? That's a good one. Just make sure I surround myself with the people who are like-minded and who do want to see us do better.
The answer to your question, Dr. Nikumbe, no, you should not accept the term. In my opinion, don't accept the term, move forward. Do I need to play those videos again? That's the result. Just saying. So,
yeah,
you can drop the link.
So what other
see if people have any solutions to this that they want to talk about, and explain to us how you would implement those solutions.
I think more positive examples in the media, because the media is very powerful, very powerful.
It is.
And people gravitate to negative media or negative footage faster than they gravitate to things that are positive. So We definitely need more positive images out there, and we need like a machine behind those positive images that can rival the negative ones. So I'm talking about like, you know, a machine like that has like the top marketing dollars that had, you know, that can push like ads and like shows and things like that at the same level and at the same rate as all these other conglomerates do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, solution.
When you see it like, and because it has to be, in order for it to stick, people have to see it like at a constant rate. It has to be like constantly in their minds. The same way the negative ones are constantly in their minds. They got to be able to see that at the same rate. What's going on, Tommy B?
And before you go, Tommy, just pointing it out, Shamaria. Earlier you said you didn't know. I don't know how to solve that. It's too big. But look at what you just did. And I'll ask you is one question.
It's a suggestion.
If you did have the answer, what would it be? Anyway, Tommy, thank you guys for coming up. Tommy B, you pulled up. What you got? I know you said that's so low-key slap. I disagree.
No, I'm trying to figure out like
y'all niggas
what are
weird,
you
bro.
trying to find a solution for? Because what it seemed like you asking the solution for, it ain't gonna be one. These people, there has to be a lower class. There has to be a people that's looked down on. We've been picked. It is what the fuck it is. The Black Panthers didn't walk around looking like buffoons. They were still niggas. Malcolm X didn't walk around looking like a buffoon. He was a nigga. Martin Luther King. We can go down the line of people who didn't sag their pants, wear baggy clothes, they wore suits, they spoke properly, yada, yada, yada. They were still niggas. So I wish we would get out of this fucking thing where we think these motherfuckers are going to like us. They fucking don't. I don't give a fuck what we do. And what we do is we look at each other and go, well, this is the reason why they don't respect us. No, the fuck it ain't. They don't fucking respect us. Because overwhelmingly, us as a people do not act like that. So they choose to look at our bottoms and make that represent us. They have bottoms too. It's the reason why hillbillies don't represent white people. It's the reason why Chinese gang members don't represent, this shit is done on purpose. So this whole notion of, if we pick up our pants, if we stop cussing, if we stop saying nigga, it ain't gonna fucking matter, bro. They project what the fuck they want to project, period. It is what it is.
Hey, Tommy, you preaching tonight, boy.
Hold on. Well, Tommy, you are correct to a point. But rather, like I told Shamaria, whether the solution whether it will be fixed or not, that's irrelevant. What a solution! If you had an answer to this, what would it be?
There isn't one, because let me explain to you what let me explain to you what I'm saying.
Okay.
So when we see these news reports about these riots, right? I remember they had one in Oakland. If you watch the news, you would have thought the whole fucking city of Oakland was on riot. It was literally 2 fucking blocks. They show you what they want to show you.
Yes, sir.
So we can straighten up all the fuck we want to. They're going to show what they want to show. They make Chicago look like the most dangerous city in America, and it ain't even fucking top 10.
Right, that's true. That's so true.
They show you what they want to show you. They made COVID seem like the most dangerous motherfucking disease on earth. What a lot of people didn't know, it was a lot of kids dying from the fucking flu right before that. But they didn't project that on the fucking news. It was literally one of the worst years of the flu for kids right before that shit happened. Nobody wasn't freaking out about that. Why? Because it wasn't pushed to you on the news.
Okay. I would say to counter a solution to your media problem is that we have a lot of black media, actual news programs right here on YouTube. We have a big black studio right there in Atlanta with Tyler Perry. And that's something I thought that other black actors could do long time ago. Like if Denzel Washington, Angela Bassett, the other Bill Cosby, especially Bill Cosby, had pulled their money together and built a movie studio. We could have had the ball rolling on that a long time ago.
But you know the problem with that, Mandrell?
You're making the assumption
the problem with that, Mandrell, is we patronize that. Tyler Perry is overwhelmingly supported by black folks.
Yeah.
We don't have the image problem amongst each other. You're asking about outside racists respecting this. They patronize white outlets.
Okay.
Cool. And Tommy B, can I say this real quick, Tommy B?
Mandrell,
Hey, goddamn it! This is gonna be well structured.
We don't look at it from a we don't look at it from a point of
doing well
of structure as well. Like when we look at the situation that Tommy just said, Tommy, everything you said, I agree with it 1,000%. Because what happens is you can look at it from a thousandaire on YouTube. You can have a man on YouTube. There's several men on YouTube right now. Every time they post something positive for the community, they're not talking about women. They're not talking about men. They're talking about bringing husband and wives together. They're talking about love, affection, how to have food deserts leave. They're talking about what happened in Black people history. They're talking about all this stuff. And guess what YouTube said? No, we're going to take that video down. We're going to take that video down. We're going to take that video down. You don't have a platform to push this narrative that Black people are positive. So we're gonna take all your shit down, and let me tell you who. So the solution is, why are we worried about people who are going to look at us like Tommy said? The solution is, don't worry about people that's going to look at you the same, whether you're doing good or whether you're doing bad. You shouldn't even worry about what they're saying. It doesn't even matter.
The issue is also, Mandrell, you're assuming that the model would change. Well, if we use Black people, that the model on which they purport the news would change. It's not going to change. It's just the color of the people going to change. They're still going to lead with negativity. They're still going to start the news at 11, details at 11. They're just going to talk about Black problems, and it's still going to be negativity. Why? Because the human race in itself likes blood. It likes violence. It always has. Even back to the gladiator days, they've always liked violence and blood. That's never going to change. It is what it is.
Okay, fair enough. So Tommy says there is no answer to it. Black man says he agrees with Tommy. So and Trey, pretty much the same thing. Jedi Mike, I know you were second, but people don't know how to move in order, so I apologize for that. Go, young blood. If you had a solution, hypothetically, to any part of this issue, because it's very nuanced.
Yeah.
There's a lot to it.
The issue is what again? So I may answer properly.
The Black image and how people are receiving us, what they see when they see us. Like I showed some videos where people of other races way too comfortable using the N-word. That was just an example.
Well, on that note, there is no solution. Well, okay.
I want to say is, when it comes to the Black image, what solutions would you present to that?
When you have the mindset of people don't view you by the image they give you. People view you by the image you give them. And even then, regardless of that, they're still going to make their own decision how they're going to treat you. Regardless, I can be in a suit and tie. I can talk properly. I can pronounce my E's and my R's, But either way, you have a well-spoken Black man, and then you have another Black person who might have more slang. Either way, they're going to view you the same if they choose to. So my thing is, I don't try to focus on what people's perception of me. I just know is that, okay, what is my image of myself? Am I portraying myself in a way that I'm supposed to be in the light of being respected and not derogate? Am I putting myself as an image of being a joke? Because either way, there's going to be stereotypes in every race and generation, everything like that. Again, like Tommy made a good point about hillbillies and trailer park trash and the cousins and all that stuff like that. Asian and the gangsters and all that stuff, Mexicans, Latinos, they have to have the same thing. So if the point is talking about having the solution about image, well, one, you have to understand is focusing on who is actually leading to degradation of our image. Is it the white people or people that are against our culture, or is it ourselves, right? I try to focus on accountability and start from within, So I don't know you go ahead.
So you say you start with accountability and start within.
Yes.
What would you do when you start from within? What would you do?
I'll ask questions in terms of like, what are my outcomes that I'm not that I don't want for myself, and is my image leading to that outcome? For example, I'm not getting the job I want because of the way I'm portraying myself, how I'm articulating myself. Also understand my excuses. Oh, I can't get this because of the white man. Oh, the white man, this, whatever. I wish I could get this opportunity, but then this thing is hindering me back. I try to view my excuses, and then hopefully I try to ask my inner circle, and hopefully they're in good standing to the point that hold me accountable. I ask them questions because even though I can be all knowing about myself, I'm not going to know everything. So I think, again, wisdom's also asking the right questions of people to identify things you yourself do not see.
So they can catch your blind spots, right?
Right.
Okay, so you said number one, focus on yourself and for yourself first, and make sure you're carrying yourself in a way that you would respect, or that you think that, or that you perceive would be respected, right?
Right.
Number two, identify the people who are quote unquote, and I'm doing air quotes here, people, because I'm not pointing fingers in any way, who may be harming our image, and approach them and probably teach and try to teach them a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I found is a lot of people simply don't know. Like, I was amazed how many people didn't know that if you wore a shirt and tie to a job interview, that would increase your odds of getting that job. I was alarmed at how many people did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Mandrell, can I ask you a
So
question?
it's like I'm not. What's up?
I work in corporate America. You know this. You know where I work and what I do.
I don't know where you work at.
The world. Well, you know what I do for a living.
Yeah.
The workplace now has changed so significantly that because of lawsuits, body shaming, all this other stuff that they've implemented in policy, it's people at my job that got hired with tattoos on their face and working in corporate America because they know they can go against the policy, right? There are people coming to interviews with jeans and polo shirts on. I haven't seen a suit in a year.
Okay, cool.
And they're getting these jobs making six figures.
That's not the point. That's not the point. You're making an excuse.
No, that's not.
Stop.
That's not an excuse.
That is an excuse. The world has changed, man. Hold on. Here's the thing. Stop. You missed everything Jedi Mike said.
Well, to be fair, Mandrell, he is making a valid point that
he's making a point, but it's also an excuse.
Let me explain on that point what Black Man Filter is saying. Currently, right now in this modern age where we're in the age of everything's being offensive. Well, I can't wear my things I want to wear in a certain way. Oh, I'm going to send a lawsuit and affirmative action and other stuff like that.
Affirmative action, right?
Where things are changing. I'm also in construction, and it still is a standard of how you come to work, right? But in the office. But even then, what's going to happen is you can do that. They'll have those policies in place. But again, it doesn't matter what the policies and the people who are working there decide. The market decides. If I'm a customer and I decide, okay, listen, I'm not liking this place of work, and I'm not liking these employees, how they're conducting themselves, or how they look, I'm not going to give them my dollar. And then money talks and BS walks. So all these things that they're saying about, oh well, I can wear whatever I want to work, whatever. Okay, cool. And guess what? You're gonna reap the benefits and consequences of those decisions.
Okay, cool.
Well,
I didn't mean to interrupt you, Mandrell, but in the corporate world, they call it diversity and inclusion now. That's what they
Here's my thing. That's no excuse to walk around looking like a clown. That's why I call it. Hold on. That's why I called it an excuse. Just because someone says it's okay, don't mean it's okay. Because we are judged by a different metric than everyone else is. Period. You're black. You're in America. Man or woman, you are judged by a different metric than everyone else.
But that's the thing. The younger generation ain't hearing that.
I ain't trying to hear none of it.
That's not. Hold on. That's
I ain't hearing shit.
Again, that's not the point. Like I said, if you have a solution, and if you say there is no solution, you're not thinking.
Well,
hold on. And I was going to point that out later on in the show because you missed the point of tonight's show. Now, you saying there's no solution? All right, cool. I accept that for now. But just letting you know, since it came up, if you say there's no solution, you're not thinking. Next Noble, world class. Come with it.
Well, I just wanted to back up what Tommy was saying. It's like just like the perception that men like myself aren't going to be good dads or haven't been good dads was an entire lie. It wasn't ever real at all. And we see the stats today that we're the best fathers on earth, and they're still saying every chick that's walking around with a baby, this nigga he won't be a good dad, and he ain't here, and we know this a lot. So it's like doing a bunch of shit over the 30-something years I've been alive really is not going to make no difference. Accommodating, trying to co-parent hasn't changed. It hasn't changed the masses within our own people. So people that have set up media groups to be able to make us look bad on purpose, it's not going to change nothing they do if you wear your pants on your ass. I wore my pants on my ass my entire life. Never wore it off, not one time, on purpose. It doesn't make no difference. Like was said, the way they want to, in terms of our image, the way they want to portray us is to their financial interests. And now it don't have nothing to do with the stuff that we're talking about.
Okay,
what it has
cool.
to do with, but hold on. But
Go
what
ahead.
it has to do with is genetic survival. They have to put out this bullshit image because they can't compete genetically. They have to get you to not be yourself, like any other war propaganda thing. They got to get you to not be at your best. So when it's competition time, you fighting with both your hands behind your back. So solution is, this is the solution, is to do the same thing that everybody else does. Just focus our media on children. We don't say jive turkey no more because the media is different with my generation than it was in the 70s and 60s. And that's it. That's the only solution will be to have our image and send it to children and direct children like they're doing right now with the little boy name that want to be gay, whatever his name is. I forgot his name. I forgot him. Lil Nas X. Yeah, that. That's what they're doing, and they're pushing that.
Okay, cool. So, how would you implement that?
By being a dad, being a mom, and then linking up with other dads and moms and saying, "Look, this is what we're gonna push. We're gonna put this little girl image and this little boy image, and cut that YouTube off and make it a point." And that's just pretty much it. And then grow that type of network that way. Put it on each other's channels, share those channels where you got people that look like us talking positive stuff, and go from there.
So, in other words, have rules, things like rules, standards, and instill exercises with your children in a schedule that will get them used to a pattern of discipline.
Indeed.
Okay,
there you go.
there you go. Because I'm getting sick of him. Hey, nigga, we ain't the only fucking race that do that.
Exactly, bro.
I'm sick of you saying that shit, nigga. Italians call each other that. Italians call each other disparaging. Man, shut the fuck up.
They do. Other races do it too.
Act like we the only race that do that shit.
Right. Other
Nigga,
races
we
do
ain't.
it too. Yes, other races do it. You're right. Other races do it too.
And somehow, with the other races doing it, it doesn't seem to tarnish their image. That's interesting.
That's because it's not like it's like other people up here tonight have made good points that have made the very valid point that is what's plastered everywhere in media when it comes to us. It is, but that's not what I'm asking you for tonight. I'm not even asking you to solve it. The point of tonight's episode is to get you think in a fashion of, if you could solve it, what ways would you do it? Find a solution to one part of this problem. Find a solution to it. Mike did it on accident.
Mandrell.
Well, let me.
It is Trey's turn now.
Okay, go ahead, Trey. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You guys know what I did for a living. I saw the worst of our people.
Right.
And in my opinion, in order for us to get to where people want us to get to, it's going to take an extreme amount of violence. You can't be 13% of the population and think that you're going to overtake 75% of the population. In their mentality and what they think, and in the financial situations, they have more money than us. They have more people than us. And so, if you really are serious about wanting to set a different image about our people, you would have to have more of us. There just isn't enough of us. You know, we are, the deletion rate for what we do with 20 million babies. You're never going to be able to change this narrative because we're not in control. Not being 13% of the people, there has to be more of us. You cannot go to war, empty-handed like this. And so, if you really are serious about wanting to change the perspective of the black image, you got to be ready to go to war about it. And we're not. Our people are not ready to do that. We're thinking that, we can talk to them nicely and we can talk to them gently. Meanwhile, they're using violence. And I'm telling you this as a former police officer. I'm telling you, they are using violence to get their message across. We are not. And if you really want to get this, you really want to change this, we have to start having more babies, more families, and we've got to change that number from. I think they have like 75% of the population. We have 13. It's just we're going to be outnumbered forever. We're going to be as I forgot what movie he said it. I think it's Will Ferrell. He says, you guys are outmanned and outgunned. You lose, we're gonna lose every time.
The other guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Trey.
You're outmanned and you're outgunned. So my solution is
you construct a breathing apparatus with kelp.
Exactly. My solution is very simple, and it's something that Black Man preaches. It's something that SB Unsolicited she preaches. Right? If you really are serious about this, you gotta restore families, and Black people gotta start having Black babies. We gotta get to work. Start
get married.
I just gotta push back on one thing. I have to. I can't stand hearing this. The people walking around with pale skin are the minority of Earth. They do not make up 75%. I said this when I first came on the scene. When you see white and you look up the numbers, that includes immigrants. You are only white through a naturalization act. They are only white through the Naturalization Act. They are only white through the Naturalization Act, which is taking an alien and clothing them with the rights of natural persons. White people make up 5% of the people on this planet. They are not 75%. That is including immigrants, which they include Muslims, Mexicans. All these people that are white, all Arabs, Mexicans, North Africans, like Nigerians. All of them are labeled as white. I just got to go do your research. There's not that many people. Their birth rate has been too low for close to a millennium. It's not that many people. That's why I said start targeting the children and giving them real information, real applicable. I'm going to tell you real research shit. You don't have a fucking clue on what history is until you get into military records. You don't know history and you don't know what's going on. Until you get your eyes on military records, you don't know what's going on. And top secrets, not just CIA, top secret research, the stuff that's been released maybe 30 years from after it was filed, you don't know history. This shit is fake. Their reproduction is like 1.12. Mexicans is like 5. Their birth rate is like 5. There's way more us than it. Where the fuck do you go when you see more white people than niggas? Where? Next to nowhere.
Idaho.
The neighborhood I live in, there's plenty of white people.
Wisconsin.
Hey,
Mandrell.
What's up?
The solution, I'll say the solution would be, I do agree with the family, bringing the family back together.
Okay.
And the solution would be for us as adults, as older people, becoming older men now, I think we should stop suppressing the voice of these young people. Because these young people are very intelligent now. They up on game like world class. There are some 16-year-old boys out there that got a mind just like world class, talking just like he talking. And they don't want to hear what the old man got to say because they're smarter than you. And so, with my son being he was in an after school program. I took him out, but he was in an after school program because he wanted to, do it with his buddies. It was a mentoring program where they were offering several solutions. And one day I happened to say, I got off early. Let me go see what they're talking about, what they, saying to my son. And the guy was talking about sagging pants and all this other stuff, doing all this other stuff as the Black culture and the image of Black culture. And one of the young men, he said, if you do that, you can, when police see you, they look at you as a target when you're dressed a certain way. If you wear a hoodie, your chances of getting past the police will probably be 0 to none because they think that you're a thug. You have to put on a suit. You have to dress in polo shirts. He had pictures of how Black men should dress. And one of the little boys stood up one of the 16-year-old, 15 or 16 probably, he stood up and said, well, I have a question. He said, one of the best leaders in the world. And this is why I was like, yes, when Tommy said it. One of the young men said that one of the best leaders in the world was Malcolm X. He wore a suit every day for the Nation of Islam. He said, where is he? He said, can anybody tell me where he is? They say he's dead. He said, how did he die? And the man said he got assassinated. He said, what was he wearing when he got shot? He said, what was Martin Luther King wearing when he got shot? Mm. He said they were wearing suits. He said the people are not looking at our image. He said the image is not a problem. Mm-hmm. He said it's the fear of the strength of us becoming unified is what the problem is.
Right. And how you weaken that strength? is what they're using. They're using that image to weaken that strength. You saw the video. Yeah, like I just didn't play those videos earlier today.
Mandrell, I definitely got to say something.
Yeah. Information man, you were next anyway.
Long.
Yeah, you were next anyway. Give me a solution. Again, not saying you can solve it.
Well, my solution is not based on my opinion. My solution is based on what I've done.
Go ahead.
World Class said that it's about the youth and getting to the youth and getting them in a better space in mind. We will change the generations by the youth. When I was in college, we never liked using the N-word. The solution is black men. We are the solution. We should be checking each other when we use these kind of words. We should be holding one another accountable. That's what we did when I was in school. So when we were mentoring young men, they saw black men carrying themselves in dignity. And how we spoke to them, how we addressed them. I mean, gone are the days of the 90s when people used to say, peace, my brother, peace. We got away from using, when we were wearing the medallions and saying the word peace and back to the East, we've gotten away from that, and that got replaced with nigga this and bam, 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 gangster music. So the message has been distorted, but it's about working with our youth, letting them see upright black men to change the narrative. I myself, and check this out. You don't have to have a lot of money to do this. You can do this in your early years. It doesn't matter. It's about being involved in a program with men who are about doing the work that is necessary to change the narrative. So when you can get to kids and you can mentor them, put them in front of black men that are professionals, that are mechanics, skilled trades, whatever. The kids today don't care what you say. They care what you do and what opportunity you present to them. So you got to present them something that can make a change. And then when those kids have kids, they will instill those same values. So it's a mindset, and it's about leading by example and mentoring of our youth. I don't think that we're going to solve this problem with trying to change older black people. Black people at a certain age are set in their ways. So I say join 100 black men. Join any organization that's about the betterment of young black males as well as our females. Look at what they're doing. What kind of programs do they have? For example, where I live at, and we have these throughout all the country in my organization, and I'm sure Jedi, he has the same thing in his organization. We have an Alpha Academy. We have them in all our different cities and different communities. We start tracking, where I live at right now, we start tracking young black males and females from the grade school level, because we've been able to save a lot of kids that would have been otherwise going to the police station, become victims of police brutality, right? Kids that would ended up in prison environments. So we got with them and start tracking them, working with some community centers where kids, instead of them going to jail because they've got into some late night mischief, we start working with them early, tracking them through school. Then on top of that, you say as a solution, we have a mother and fathers program in our Alpha Academy where we deal with the mothers and fathers of some of these kids to figure out what is the struggle and the problems that they're having, because we seem to think that because you have a black man and a black woman and they have a child, that all of a sudden they know what the hell they're doing. No, we need to assist each other, because not all of us have all the answers. And you'd be surprised how many of our people are struggling with raising their kids, and they just need a support group. And so that's what we do. We have an educational component. We have the support group component. We have the component where we pair young men and ladies up with men to mentor them into a vocation that they're interested in, right? Then we have a program where we address the pregnancy issues, where we address young black males about what their responsibility is if they impregnate a young lady. What is your responsibility? Should you be abstinent? We know kids are not going to be abstinent, so you should give them options that they need to do to be responsible. And then another thing we need to do, like my man George Makem with the Urban Nerds Worldwide organization in Philadelphia. See, we need to be connecting with people like that and donating to these kind of programs that are legitimate. Or my man Q Butter in Brooklyn, who has his program where he's working with STEM with young kids. They're doing these things. So we need to have these rites of passage programs to prepare young boys and young ladies for manhood, womanhood. I think the ladies are the ones that should really be focusing on the females, because I, as a man, cannot teach a female how to be a woman. So this is my solution that can work. And the reason why I know it works, because I've done it. And these types of works continue to go on to this very day, whether I'm here or whether I'm gone. And it works. And I think we need to start doing one very important thing. We spend a lot of time, and I know people won't like what I'm going to say here. We spend a lot of time praising people who sold drugs to the community, like Rick Ross, making them celebrities when they contribute to the destruction of our community. How about us put on a pedestal young black ladies and young men who are doing it? Remember, what was it? A couple of months ago, you had a 9-year-old black child who finished high school at what, age 9 or 10? He's getting ready to go to an Ivy League school or whatever school of his choice. He was on CNN. He got one little 15 minutes of fame for about a minute, and nobody talked about the young man anymore in our communities. See, but let's say he sold drugs or he did something downtrodden. Oh, we'd be clapping him up. Oh yeah. It seemed like we gravitate towards people who were downtrodden and then they rise up. Now, I'm not against people who make improvements in their life, but we spend way too much time praising those who effed up our communities and forgetting about the young men and ladies out there that are doing. Look, when I was a kid, I played violin. We got to make our kids Renaissance men and ladies. When I was a kid, I played violin. I did poetry. I played basketball. I was well-rounded, and my family exposed me to a lot of these things. When I would walk through the community, people would laugh. What's that? Oh, a violin? Oh, that's goofy. They don't even know that the history of the violin is that the black man was the first fiddler. We were the ones that brought these instruments. So there's a history with the violin. See, these are things that we need to teach our kids so that they don't make fun of kids who go for that vocation, go for that style. So it's a mindset. And black men, as much as folks like to talk this manosphere shit, which I'm sick of, because that ain't really manhood. Manhood is out in the community. We got to get away from this continue blame the woman for everything, but then turn around and say, we the damn leaders. A leader leads by example and does not blame females for the shortcomings, because you look at yourself as a man and say, if we're going to change the community, it has to come from men. We don't need to be whining and running around and talking about what the women are doing. For example, Ja Morant. I bring up John Morant because his behavior has been terrible. And God knows if he came from a single black mama, everybody on YouTube would be saying, he's behaving like that because he got a single black mama. Guess what? He grew up with a father. His father, in my opinion, has sort of failed him in some kind of ways for the behavior that he's engaging with, because he has a father. So not all men are built. Many are called, but few are chosen. Jedi, you know what I mean by that. So that's my longitudinal solution to this. I'm not saying it's going to make everything change in one day, but it's a long-term goal and the first thing starts with you as a father. Your children are your first experiment of this success. 2, world class. I really like where you come from with the things that you say, brother, because I'm 53 years old, be 54 this year, and all my life, they've been telling us that we're 13% of the population. Wait a minute, you telling me that black folks ain't still having sex and having babies? We're not 13% of the population. That is false. I don't believe that. And you're right, because I did a video about this on my channel. They already came out with a census report saying that white people, our birth rates are going down.
Yes.
Miss Welsing told us that years ago in her ISIS papers. Their birth rates are going down, and globally in the world, they are the minority. We just been bamboozled and culturally conditioned because we don't like ourselves to just say, "Oh, black people, we don't have any population." Stop buying the lies in the okey doke. Stop buying it. And another thing we got to do, because what you played tonight, Mandrell, the reason why I didn't like it, because on a deeper psychological level, it's embarrassing because I have to say it. The way they were acting is the way a lot of our people behave. It's the way we talk and act, and it becomes an embarrassment, a caricature. You know what it goes back to? Remember, how many of y'all saw Ethnic Notions? It goes back to the mammy and the gumbo and the sambo images of the past. That's what it was. Like Amos and Andy, shucking and jiving. That's a really very sad history, but black people are playing this out today. And we got nobody to blame but ourselves for people who imitate us like that and make money off of it and make us the butt of the joke. We have nobody to blame but ourselves. It ain't the white man or anybody else. It's us, because we buck dance and jump around like this every day. And then these young men out here, unfortunately, that I deal with in the prison system, where all of this wearing your pants below your ass is two things that's meant for: either telling people that you want sex. And the reason why this happened, let me give you the history here. In prison, you can't wait. They don't give you a belt because they're concerned that you're going to commit suicide. So a lot of black men, this is the truth, and y'all may not like to hear this. A lot of black men in the penal system have become culturally conditioned to wearing their pants below their ass because that's how they had to wear it in prison, because they don't give them a belt. And then what happened is some of these so-called rappers and entertainers, they took what was happening in the prison environment and they put it into the hip hop music. And then all these kids are watching these hip hop artists wearing their pants below their ass. And it becomes what? A fashion statement, even though it really meant something else, right? Now, when I was a kid, you would get, this is the cultural conditioning. There was a time in the black community where if you wore your pants below your ass and you flooded, everybody would laugh at you. It was socially unaccepted within our community. Somehow, pants sagging has become socially acceptable in our community, in some of our communities, should I say. The conditioning, that's exactly what Malcolm X was talking about. That's what Neely Fuller Jr. talks about, how we've been, how you create a Negro. Or the word is, we want to get away from that word nigga. This is how you create a nigga. And these type of people are being created every day in our society. I rest on that, and I thank you for being patient to hear my diatribe
Can I ask a
tonight.
question? What exactly has John Morant done wrong?
Well,
this nigga gonna die on that hill. Jesus
now,
Christ.
I'm just going to say this, and I don't want to be long-winded because I've been long-winded enough. The reason why I bring that up, Trey, and everyone has to agree with me here. We know that if there was no father, if we knew that he did not grow up in sort of a middle-class black family life, and that he was a product of a single black mother, which you hear on these spaces all the time, people would be saying that John Morant's behavior is a byproduct of not having a father in the household and a single mama. Y'all know I'm telling the truth.
Got it.
Let's
I
stop
got
lying.
that. I'm asking a specific
The reason
question.
why I blame it because as much as we say that young men need, I'm saying that I feel, this is my opinion, just my opinion. I feel that somewhere down the line, maybe the father has failed his son. And you know why I can say this? Because if you look at the NBA, there were times in NBA games where his father was at the game, and when his son was acting a fool, like he was going to fight somebody, the father jumps up, acting just like he's a teenager. So what that tells me is that the father, well, this is just my opinion, because I don't know. I just feel like there's something not right there. He has a father in his life.
It's an interview. You got to see information, man.
Yeah.
He was sitting at a table with a bunch of NBA fathers.
Yes, sir.
And this motherfucker literally asked the question, well, how do you stay the father when your son has so much money? And if you saw the pause that the other fathers looked at him with.
Thank you. You just rest my, look, brother, you
crazy.
just rest my case.
Nobody can explain
You just
what
rest
John
my
Morant
case.
done
Bro,
wrong.
we can explain it, but you just go down the hill. So there's no point in going back and forth.
Explain
What the
what he
brother
done
has
wrong.
just, what you have just said, sir, what you have just said
Great
is the
point, Tommy.
crescendo of everything. That's it. There shouldn't be no more discussion. For him to say something like that, that tells you that he may have some
You talking about his daddy. I'm talking about John Morant, the adult man.
I know, bro.
We not going down that street, nigga. We know
I'm not
you
gonna open up that can of worms.
Leave it alone.
We know that he's a man,
What
but at
has
the
he
same
done
time,
wrong?
he still has a
He been a
father.
fucking idiot, nigga. That's what he did.
Right.
Moving on.
Let me just stop. Let's stop right there. I don't want to cause problems
Yeah,
on your panel.
you're not causing problems.
I
Trey,
made that statement, Mandrell, for
They don't
a
have
reason.
an answer, man.
I got it.
My reason is that
you just
we
don't
as
like
men
him. You don't like what he did.
have to do a better job.
He hasn't done anything wrong.
And what we do as men to raise our sons, our daughters, whatever it is, right?
The same guys.
So that you don't have the examples of John Morant.
They brandish weapons.
It's two people talking at the same time.
Trey,
They do the same exact thing.
I got it, but Trey, that's Trey, y'all.
And
Trey,
just so you know,
a young man who's making $200 million.
Let me just say this before I get off. Trey, Trey, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off the panel. Trey, you do know that on the streets out here, California and across the country, there are people that are saying he's throwing up signs and doing things which are gang-related stuff, and there's people out here that are really part of gangs, and they're saying,
well, hey, man, that's not against the law.
Let me just finish what I'm saying, sir. They're saying that if they ever run into him, there's going to be a problem because he's throwing up stuff, a lifestyle that he does not live and he isn't a part of. Okay, and all I'm saying is that, and the reason why I'm saying this, the reason why I'm saying this, Trey, is because if we're going to have a solution, we have to look at ourselves as men and say, as men, it does not matter. Look,
right now.
I was told this by my father a long time ago. It doesn't matter how old you are, Trey, or how grown you are. If you got a father, you're going to always be his son. And he going to always be the goddamn father. And you know that. It doesn't matter how old my kids get. I'm still going to be their damn father.
And you can't stop your child.
And if you're going to sit up there as a father and go to those NBA games and hang out on the sideline and get into fights, damn near get into a fight with your son, and not acting like the mature father, sir. No, there's something wrong there. There's a problem there.
I saw good fathers every single night trying to stop their kids from doing things that they should not be doing on the streets. Whether they were part of crews, whether they were part of gangs, whether they were gun toting, whether they were drug trafficking, whether they were robbing and assaulting people. I saw it every single night. I saw good fathers out there fighting, trying to stop their kid. And guess what? They can't do it. Why?
You're not going to be able to obviously.
When adult kids want to do what they want to do, they're going to do it, and you can't stop them.
But you still need to. But you still need to set some kind of standard. Look, Trey. Let me give you some real. Trey, let me give you a real world experience. Check this out, Trey.
You guys live in
something you may not know about me.
Y'all live in a mindset where everything.
No, I don't, Trey. I live in the real world. Trey, let me tell you something.
I live in the real world.
Let me tell you something, Trey.
All right, Trey.
I just want to make this statement. This is a very important. This is a very important statement I'm about to make, Trey. You may not know this, Trey, but I deal with gang members every day. Gang bangers, you name it. People that have taken people's lives, people that live the street life. Every gang on this planet, I deal with these guys directly in my professional capacity. And when I counsel them and talk to them, they all have major regrets around the issues of not either having a proper male father in their life or someone in their life that they didn't listen to that was trying to guide them. And they regret it to this very day as they're doing what? Life imprisonment, right? Life sentences. And they're realizing that they made a mistake. And they said that the gangs became the father, the mother, and became their family. And when they look back, they say, I wasted a lot of my life and I really would have done better in life had I had a father that kicked me in my ass no matter how old. Now, these are men who live the real gangster life, not like John Morant playing with guns on video. I'm talking about guys who've done some heavy, heavy crimes that I deal with, and I get to hear their perspective, legitimate people, not fake. So I'm saying to you, there is something for the idea.
Man. I've done the same.
I'm just letting you know what my experience is. There's something to say for the importance of a father.
I was the one arresting them. I was the one arresting them while their fathers were standing there on the sideline watching me do it.
Okay,
so you're talking about from that one aspect. I'm talking about it from a different. I watched the father say, "I raised you better than this.
I understand.
I taught you better than this."
I'm not arguing
with my own.
I'm not arguing that you haven't seen fathers do that. I'm not. That's not my point.
Hey, everybody, can y'all hear me?
I gotta go.
Trey, you're off topic. That's a conversation for another time. That's not what tonight's topic show is about. Reason why I'm being so strict about tonight's tonight is because this was an exercise in getting you guys to think differently. Because I've watched you since I've been on YouTube and before I showed up, thinking the same fashion. It ain't about actually fixing the problem. It's thinking about a way to fix the problem. How you even come up with an avenue to do it, to start. A lot of the issues I hear people talk about, they don't even know where to start with it because there's so much to deal with. Yeah. Now, what that basketball player did, whether he was right or wrong, bruh, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, whatever. That's not the conversation tonight. Give me a second, Black David. Okay. It's just getting people, and that's what tonight's show is about, people. Getting you to think in a different fashion. Because everyone thinks the same way. That's what I've noticed. Yeah,
there's no way to fix it. So
there's no way to fix it. So let's just, whatever. No, that's why it can't be fixed. You already quit. Well, it can't be fixed. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You already quit. You already surrendered. It's a lot to deal with, and you're gonna need a lot more people than just you and me to fix things. I understand how daunting this task is, but the purpose of tonight's show is a thinking exercise. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to see if people were capable of doing it, how well they paid attention. Did they really listen to what I said? Like I said, Mike came up here and did it on accident. It was almost a reflex. Like he didn't really do it on accident. It just seemed like it's like he did it. It was just a reflex. I was like, I was sitting there. I was like, wow, okay. World class, did you do a good job? Even Tommy said, "Ain't no fixing it." Right after that, Tommy came up with solutions. I just gotta calm down and laugh. Well, he said one of those solutions. Then he came up with one.
I told you.
You know what I'm saying? The Shushu's point when talking about there is no solution to something, it goes into the point about some things don't require an answer to everything. Meaning that if I want to focus things on a macro perspective, I need to focus on my micro.
Right. Not a problem.
That instead of me saying, well, how can we fix the overall image of black men and or black people and everything like that? Well, might not be an overnight answer. Maybe the overnight answer is actually waking up the next day and knowing how you can improve yourself so you don't add on to the overall image, right?
Yeah, and that's why I had no problem with your solution.
Saying, oh, you can't fix it, is not saying there is never going to be any improvement on it. It means that there's always going to be some outlier. To Trey's point, well, you can be a good father all you want. They're still going to be doing it, but just because people are still going to be doing it doesn't mean I'm going to add on, well, I should just, I should not just go my hands free and not be active in my child's life and not being at least some beneficiary to say, listen, I don't care. Even if he's still going to do it, I still have a role responsibility as a father, so I'm not going to give up on him, even though he has given up on himself.
Right. Most of the time when people say it is no solution, they're just saying it's not worth it.
Well, it's just saying they're not willing to do the hard work themselves.
Well, no, it's not worth it.
Y'all got to remember, solutions require you actually doing the work, and people just keep coming up with excuses. Yeah. Why it's always someone else's fault. Someone else needs to do it.
And here's what like I said, hold on a second, Black David. The funniest part, like I said, was Tommy B said, you can't, there's no solution because you're going to need this, you're going to need that. I'm just like, he just listed off he said there's no solution, but he just listed off.
No, I'm saying if they actively want us to be looked at a certain way, that's what it's going to be. And that's what they've shown us. Again, we've worn suits. They looked at us the same way. The same way they look at us today is the same way they looked at us when we had suits. We did not have more respect back then.
We had this conversation before. When it came to that video, you've been overseas before. So when it comes to overseas and foreign nationals, it's completely different. Tommy, just like Black David and I and Mandrell knows, that because they don't have actual Black Americans, They see everything from the media, from what we do on TV, music, movies, everything like that. You know that they just copying us because they think that's the cool thing to do.
That's just,
You
but
know what I
that's
mean?
speaks to his point.
Why do you
say something?
No, because that's accountability. The only way they're
How
not copying us is if we're not putting that image out there.
how would we be accountable for what they putting in another country?
Because
Tyrus,
we're the ones
Tyrus,
who put the image out there.
is Africa accountable for the way that we see Africa? We think everybody over there on dirt roads and shit. We come to find out they
That's
got
right.
fucking resorts over there and beautiful beaches.
And
Why
that's
is it?
true.
Why do we think
That's
that way?
true.
Because
That's
how
true, Tommy.
America
A lot
fucking
of people in
presents it
Africa
to us.
don't say
Yeah,
the
that's true,
N-word.
Tommy. We think they all got flies and that's
You're
not
right.
Tommy, I feel you,
You're
Tommy.
right.
Tommy, I feel you. That's why I respect you, my brother.
But see, that's the thing. If there's not an image out there, Tommy, or do you think they're saying it like that still? You know they
Tyrus,
not. You know they not, Tommy.
Tyrus, there's not going to be 100% of black people acting a certain way. Hold on. The same way there's fucking hillbillies out there, and the whole world don't think all white people are hillbillies. The same way, hold on, Tyrus. The same way when rock and roll motherfuckers was acting like complete fucking idiots in the 90s, but
Black
somehow the
natives are
whole
bad.
world didn't think all white people acted that way.
I completely agree.
Tyrus,
But what are you saying?
I'm black, and I don't always agree with everything that black people say.
Right. So Trey, but you saying we shouldn't even try?
I'm gonna go against a lot of things that black people say because I've seen it a different way.
Okay, but Trey and Tommy, I'm asking you guys directly. Are you saying because it's not 100% effective, we shouldn't bother trying at all?
No, the point they're trying to make is that you're never going to get 100% of all people to agree on something.
You
You're not.
But here's the thing. Hold on. But to accomplish what exactly? To make it worth it.
Man, don't cut it out.
So, like how we always talk about prevention, right? Preventive methods. Don't you think what would lower the amount of people calling us the N-word and making those sort of shows is if we're not constantly calling each other the N-word?
You know how many fucking television shows that is going to go to? You know how many countries is going to pick up those? What the fuck am I going to do sitting here going back and forth?
Prove that.
Bro. Are you serious?
Are
you fucking retarded right now?
My fellow brothers on the panel.
All right, here's the thing. Tyrus, give me a second.
You understand how many television screens and how many phones these shows are going to go to around Earth?
Okay,
and
again,
it's gonna get canceled because people don't want that crap anywhere in their country, bro. Because guess what? They're gonna realize that that's the wrong thing. Perfect example. And
How would you realize that if they have it by now?
No. Perfect example. Steven Adams is from New Zealand. Y'all remember during the playoffs when he said, "Man, they was running around like a bunch of monkeys." People got offended, but his teammates Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook spoke up for him. Why? Because he's from New Zealand where they call each other monkeys over there all the time. So it just needed to be understood that here in America, you can't call black people that. And that was that. You see how easy it is to just take a simple solution and make that effective? And y'all keep making excuses why you can't fucking do it.
Do you know in Spain every year year they do blackface and run people with blackface?
That's the image that goes overseas.
Now listen,
in America where we can control our image that goes.
You just talking at this point. You just talking at this point.
Bro, you just
No, I have to agree to. I will have. Hold on.
All right, hold on, everybody. Black David hasn't had a chance to go. Black David hasn't had a chance to go. Black David, go ahead.
I will have to agree with you.
What is your solution?
My solution is this. It's more on a macro level, not on a macro.
Okay.
As a father, as a grandfather, I could be what I call a mentor to not only to my son and my daughter, but to the peers of my son and my daughter. When they come to my household every other day, I try to change their way of thinking. I'm trying to change their view in thinking. Several times before, I had my son's friend come over there and ask me questions about what I do for a living or about different things concerning education. A friend of my son a few weeks ago was telling me he want to go to Penn State University. Mind you, my son is 13. They both should be around 12, 13. He haven't got into high school, but talking about going to Penn State. I sat the boy down, giving some insight how to go about it, either for the academic level or for the sport level. I had to break things down, what they need to work on, how to get them to the next level. What we can do as individuals is be mentored to people who don't have mentors in their life. I had mentors in my life that shaped the way I think, the way I act, the way I react, the way I respond. Taru is correct. the solution may not be a 100% all in one solution, but it starts from somewhere. Really, I'm saying this. They talk about the boy who was 9-year-old who graduated from high school. That was happening in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The boy is already in college already. I show those things to my son and my daughter. It's not the only one. In the past 2 or 3 years, there have been kids under the age of 12. If I remember total, I've counted so far about 30 of them that graduated from high school under the age of 12, going into college. I show these things. I keep track of it. And reason why, as Nigerian, we take education very, very serious.
That is true.
Because of that, General Mike know what I'm talking about. Because of that, I showed it to my son and my daughter. I said, look at this kid. Look at this young boy. Look at this young girl. What do you think it takes for them to get to that level of success? What did they have to replace to get to where? My daughter, you're not going to believe this. She thought that her big sister was going to Mexico to go take her mom, and her to go on a vacation. You know what she did on her own free time last summer? She learned how to speak Spanish. She took a book, a couple of software on the internet, and started learning that. In less than 3 months, she's very fluent in Spanish. Sometimes I text her to see how good she really is. And she outshine. So I told her, if you can do that in Spanish, do the same thing in your math, do the same thing in your English and your social study, and then some. I told her, if the book is not available for you in your school, you let me know. I would invest in your future. I do the same thing and showcase with her friend too as well. She told me her friend subscribed to my YouTube channel because she want to learn about computers. With me, I got more than enough motivation to make more educational programs so kids can learn about computers. That was my channel all about. We can be mentor in our own community and make a change one way or the other. I have to give Taruk credit. He teaches his daughter financial literacy. How often do you hear Black parents sit down and teach their kids the value of a dollar? How to make the dollar
that's
work
lame,
for you?
bro. That's lame. That's what squares do. Real niggas don't do that shit.
This is I don't know what's going on. I don't know if y'all can keep track of what they're like.
You got the example. On world class, you know different. You did the same exact thing. You educate your son to be on the next level. I'm saying
listen. Hold up. You got to stop. Listen, we having two different conversations. You're talking about the value of being what Mandrell is showing you is how foreigners look at us. They know that because of something we do not control. I don't think y'all understand.
I understood.
No, I didn't finish. I don't think y'all understand the volume of eyeballs that these media outlets are putting. When you just went through and explained what you just explained with your daughter, they ran a 30-minute video or 10-minute video or show, and it got to 2 or 3 million people. There's nothing, Tommy made it clear from the beginning, there's nothing that we're going to do that's going to make them look at us any different because that's not our venue. I understand what you're saying is fine here. I'm not knocking against that. I'm saying what we're speaking against is our image to other people. I said from the beginning, the solution is pushing our image to our own children and just saying, fuck the rest of the shit. And then linking up with other parents and saying, this is what we're going to push forward. This is what we're going to teach. That's the solution. I'm not arguing against that. What I'm saying is the conversation we're having. Hold on. 1 second. Hold on.
I believe you. Hold on.
1 second. So what their issue is something completely separate and distinct from what we're talking about. We don't have anything to do with what they're pushing out. Of course, we got to do that shit anyway. You're not talking about nothing new. It's called being a parent. Nothing y'all said was outside of that word. So when it comes to this particular topic, that ain't shit we can do other than what? Fucking produce 10 more billionaires and have our own media outlet. That's the only other solution.
World class. Respectfully, you are double speaking.
No, I'm acknowledging the double talk that's already going on.
The image that the foreigners are getting are what we as Black community are teaching our kids right now.
Nobody is teaching this to have a song saying nigga 25 times. Nobody teaches that.
What foreigner is making these rappers say the N-word over and over in these songs? Please name them. What foreigner right now is making world class say the N-word?
The foreigners don't have nothing to do with the word.
No. Name the foreigner or the white person that is making you world class, use the N-word on a regular basis.
What do you mean by making?
All right. Here's the thing, Tarus. You're going the wrong way. You're actually pointing fingers. We're not doing that tonight.
Exactly.
Okay. Here's the thing.
Why?
What I'm saying is,
solutions start with you.
I get. Okay. The solution start. Okay. Gotcha.
The problem isn't the word.
The solution starts with you. Got it. I think, and world class is actually on the right page with this. Okay. When it comes to the image and all this, what is your solution?
For me?
If you had a solution to any part of it,
stop using the word.
Stop using that. That's one of your solutions. Do you have another?
Yeah, I got a bunch of solutions. One, you can stop using the word.
Number two.
Two, you can actually just pull up your pants, wear a belt, or just wear
Number three.
normal fitted clothing. You can just clean
Number
up your
four.
language overall. I know I gotta constantly clean up my language. But Mandrell, you know how easy it was to just stop using the N-word? Here's the big problem with the N-word too, Mandrell. I'm Black and Puerto Rican, so people already will play funny games with me because I'm light skinned, right? But now my daughters are Black, Puerto Rican, and white. If my daughters say the N-word, guess how many Black people are gonna have a problem because they don't look like little Black girls.
Right.
But we like to pick and choose in this country when we want to use the white people one drop rule and when we don't, right? You see, that's the solution, is actually keeping the standard, actually practicing what you preach. I don't use the N-word around anyone because I don't want to be called the N-word. Yes.
So again, we aren't the only fucking race that does that. Italians call each other slurs.
But guess what? I'm not a white person. I'm a Black.
Arabs
all do
call
this
each other
shit.
sand
Okay,
nigga.
bro. Okay.
It don't matter.
All right, bro. They all do it too. So guess what? We can't change the way we look at each other, Tommy.
It's a mute point. It doesn't matter.
We gotta look at each other like that too.
But it's funny how it affects us so much, but it don't affect them. It's funny how it's not a big deal. They don't want you calling it, but they can call each other that. But when we do it, it's oh my God.
I said that earlier. I said it seems as though it only tarnishes us.
I got it, but here's the thing. That's
concept.
again, like Tommy, that's a different conversation. My question was, if you have a solution to any part of this, what would it be? We can debate again some other time, because what we're doing is debating issues again.
The common sense solution would be, start with your kids, raise them a certain way. That's the common sense solution. The reason why I was going the route of saying there isn't one is because something is being pushed out purposefully that's bigger than us. So yes, we can improve, in which I will make an argument that we have improved as a community. But the reason why we're having these fucking conversations is because that's not what the fuck is focused on. We have more business owners than we probably ever had before in life. We got more entrepreneurs than we've ever had in life. We got more millionaires and billionaires than we had ever in life. But what the fuck conversations do we have to have? These. It's funny how white people don't never just sit on hillbillies and rednecks all day. You know why? Because them motherfuckers are there and they focus on what the fuck is going on over here. We're the only ones that act like our minority is our fucking majority. And the reason why that is because it's projected that way.
White Americans more than other white Americans.
And
They literally
then we
had
just put
a
our
whole
own black
civil
media there.
war where they killed each other off just for the right to own other people.
Right, but
nobody hates white people more than other white people, bro. That's historical fact.
That's a lie.
Okay, here's the thing.
World War I, white people killing off a bunch of white people. World War II, white people killing off a bunch of white people. If we're going by this general standard,
but here's the thing. Like I said, like Tommy, to address what you're saying, like it's not like I agree with you, Tommy. We have improved in a lot of ways over the years, tons of ways, right? However, what I'm saying is, when I saw those videos, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, what are some of the issues? Okay, our image. Let's examine that. Because and let's see what people think. And I found those videos. Like I said, stuff like that makes my blood boil. I can't stand seeing it, but because the shit's just goofy to me, to be honest. And I was like, okay, this is how a lot of people see us. Yeah, I found that television show in Japan. I was like, okay, yeah.
But Mandrell, when we wore suits and ties and didn't say nigga, guess what? We had cartoons with big ass lips and top hats.
I wasn't with that either. I wasn't with that either.
Johnny Bravo.
Black Pearls back in Disney.
Yeah, but I wasn't with that. I wasn't with those either. You know what I'm saying?
No, what I'm explaining to you, I'm not saying that you was with it. What I'm explaining to you is we carried ourselves different back then, and the exact same fucking image was pushed.
Got it. And here's the thing. So my question is, if there's a way to fix that or counter that, like what
Support and
you
sponsor
take?
your own black media.
Hold on. What would you do? How would you counter it? Like Black Dave just said, support black media.
What
would you do? How would you counter it?
This is the problem with that. We're not talking about our image amongst each other. We're talking about our image outside of us. Us supporting our black media doesn't fucking fix that.
And that no, it does. No way. I'll give you two examples.
Those are intertwined.
One of them you're not gonna like. One of them you're not gonna like. I will say Walmart and Unfiltered. He is making connection with Ghana, making connection with Liberia to broadcast news over there.
Who
the
doing
other
that?
one is what Walmart and Unfiltered.
Okay.
The second one, what I've been projected throughout last year, a lot of people didn't pay attention to. I was mentioning a dude called Watermeyer. They got the biggest African YouTuber who have been doing for the past 5 to 7 years, trying to change the narrative about how Africa actually look. Like Tommy B said, everybody thought Africa was living in the hunt. Until you see video, they're building mansion-like building. They've been all type of great infrastructure going on in Africa the past 10 years. Nobody knew about it because it's not on mainstream media. He took his own effort to go across multiple African countries. Look it up. Watermeyer, you'd be surprised. How many countries have been in Africa showcasing different aspects, either from real estate, from agriculture, to education, to the hospital, to the industrial age. I even talk about how one of my classmates, yes, my high school classmate took over his father's business and turned into a manufacturing business that manufactured cars, trucks, SUV, and bus with 5 major locations in Nigeria. And he had other rivals competing with him. I have said these things throughout last year, but I think maybe some people pay attention to me, many don't. But you can't change the narrative, but it takes time. It takes effort.
Okay, cool.
That's just what the problem is.
One of the solutions is that we need to bridge the gap and have people understand it, that you cannot separate the two. The exterior image is always going to be highly influenced by the interior image. You cannot have either or. It is both. It exists both simultaneously. So sometimes, Tommy, unfortunately, whether we like it or not, there are a lot of other races who like using the N-word simply because they see us using it all the time. And it's just that simple. Yes, that's not 100%. No, that's not going to solve all the problems, but that's part of it. That's something that can be easily controlled, because a huge part of the external image that people see above us is how we treat each other.
You know what's bigger? You know what's a bigger problem with us using the word nigga? You know what's a big problem? It's like what OG Speed put in the chat. He said, "When the last time you seen the Mexicans say wetback?" I'm gonna answer. I'm you to answer for that. They usually would be speaking fucking Spanish. They wouldn't be speaking English.
No. World class.
Hold on.
No. I'm in California. I'll tell you. They do it all the fucking time.
Hold on. What's the language for niggas? What's the language? Is it English? Are we English?
Negroites.
It's no language. Are we speaking our own language? That's the problem. And then niggas don't even then they don't even know this language. Then you don't even know the English language yourself.
But no. But this is what I'm saying, world class. They say it in English all the time. That's what I'm saying. We got this image of like we're the only ones that do this. No, Italians call each other. What's that shit? WAP. They call each other. What's the other one that they was calling the Jersey Shore niggas? All the time. You better not say it though.
I've heard Arab.
The Arabs.
Yeah. Listen,
all the time.
Listen, I was just about to say. And Trey's been in the military. He's deployed before, so I know he knows. I was to say now, Arab people in the Middle East, they're real hard on it. They're real hard on each other when it comes to that. Like if you could be from a different tribe, are you trying to marry somebody's daughter?
Yeah, your shit better be together.
No.
Yeah.
Trey, I know you know
that, but anyway, like because I don't want to get off into another subject. But so, Black David, your solution, how would you implement that? And then we're gonna move on to final thoughts after Black David.
Negro glyph.
No, when I talk about supporting black media, for the past 4 years, I've made it my conscious decision to donate to Walmart Unfiltered Network, which is also expanded slowly but greatly. That was one of the aspects of it. Second aspect of it, I've been trying to promote the other guy's channel, with what in mind, which I put in the chat recently. And this the guy I've been following for the past 3 or 4 years, and he have over 1,000 videos showing different content because of what's taking place in Africa. Like Tommy B said, they didn't know that Africa is already entering the industrial age. That's why I'm trying to educate people throughout last year on multiple platforms. I say, check it out before you assume what Africa really look like. Why don't you check out the person who actually took the effort? He left university while he was going to China, came back to Africa and take upon himself to go to every single African country from the north, south, east, and the west to showcase different aspects of Africa, what it look like, what is going on, what is happening. The other two trying I support heavily. One that I can support financially speaking, the other one I could just put it out there and let people check it out for themselves. I recall showing it to JT, I recall showing it to you, man, you know about, but you say you don't care because yes, I understand your issue behind that. I get it. Many other I say the same thing to them. Check it out for yourself. Spend the next, I don't know, few weeks or few months, look at least the last 2 or 3 years of content and see what the guy have been doing. You'd be surprised almost every video have more than enough information to make you look at it like, wow, this is a big deal. I found out I could buy a house in Ghana, a 3 or 4 bedroom house for 50 grand. It will be permanent mine. The government not gonna take it back from me. I'm trying to stack my money. I also found out it only takes me 1,500 to build a huge acre of land to build my own home. Which means the land is permanent mine, they're not gonna take it from me either. There's a lot of things that go on out there that people don't know. And I try to make it whereby I share the information for free. I'm not charging. I'm not fashion fit the idiot who like to call people monkey, but they're black themselves. So that's another story altogether. But what I'm saying, let's support the positive platform that's trying their best to change the narrative. It's not easy. This guy took him more than 5 years, and right now he's a big deal in Africa. If he didn't do it, everybody would still think that we're still in shithole country. Trying to find out if that's not the case. And every government know his name. That's the funny. This dude can go to any country right now. When the government find out he's in their country, they're trying to reach out to him. Tell, okay, why don't you check this place out? You check that place. They'll give me a list, hoping how long he's going to stay. He's going to stay there for a month or two.
David, how would that help?
I'm just saying that's like an example. Support media. They want to change it.
Yeah, support media. I got you. You support, so you support media by like contributing through like super chats and stuff like that, and donating money. That's how you do it.
For Blackman, for William No Filter, everybody don't do super chat. Everybody give the fund at least $50 or less or more, depending, with allowing to hire more black people, either black screenwriters.
Gotcha. So you donate money, like no matter how small or little, you donate something. Gotcha. Gotcha. Cool. Now we're gonna move on to final thoughts. Tommy B, what's your final thoughts on
solutions? Yeah,
solutions to a problem, because that's all tonight was really, just to see if people can even think in that fashion.
You're welcome.
I'm just saying, like honestly, that really was the point of tonight's show, like to see if people can even think in that direction. And like I said, Tommy, you came up here, total accident. Yeah, ain't no solution. You're not gonna fix that problem. See, if you fix that problem, this is what you'll need. This it's gonna cause that. You're gonna need to have this. I was like, Tommy, you just laid off like 8 things to fix 8 solutions.
No, the only way for it to be, well, first of all, I think we need to understand that the people that we are even talking about looking at is different, or not making videos like that. Like, we're focusing on ignorant people. So if we take away the N-word, they'll find some other ignorant ass way to, display what they want to display. That's why I brought up the point of when we wasn't saying the N-word, we still had cartoons with big ass lips and yada yada yada. We're looking at trying to change the minds of ignorant people. They ignorant people because none of these people are doing this shit in good faith. They're doing. I think all of this shit is shock value type shit. So that's where it gets kind of convoluted, because it's like you're focusing on solutions to change people that are pretty much already ignorant in the first place, which is almost running into a brick wall anyway. I don't think normal, normal long-standing people over there are running around, talking like these people are talking in that TV show, or making it sound like these weird-ass white people was making. So
come on, Tommy.
So we're focusing on weirdos for the most part,
right?
Instead of
Y'all
just
niggas
regular
weird, bro.
normal folks. Regular normal folks aren't out here campaigning to say the N-word.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where the whole conversation gets weird anyway, because we're going, how can we change the mind of fucking weirdos? Fuck them. Is all I say. Because again, at the end of the day, if we take the N-word from them, they'll find some other stupid ass way to fucking.
In 20 years, everybody be simps.
Right, but what I'm saying is,
but if the focus on how to improve, then common sense would be. I mean, I tell you, one of the biggest things, like when I was growing up, that's changed nowadays was even if we said the N-word, we would never say it in front of white folks ever.
Right.
Like if it was white folks around, you did not say that word. That has completely changed now.
Yeah, it has.
So I mean, I'm not gonna say that would improve anything, but I'm saying if people wanted to make improvements, not to necessarily change, quote unquote, change the image so this shit don't happen, but just, to have a better overall image, I guess you would say, would be to, of course, raise your kids a certain way, to not use that word, to act accordingly, like you said, to not sag your pants. I mean, it's all common sense shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the solution isn't that hard if you're just looking to how can we overall improve the image, quote unquote.
Right.
My only issue with the situation, like I said from the beginning, is when it's projected to the world, they're projecting what they want to project out.
True. And
you know what I'm saying? And that's where it gets
right. That's where it gets
up.
mixed up. That's where it gets difficult, because we have very little control over that. Because like and I get what you're saying. What media outlet do we control that broadcasts on a global scale? We're not Fox. We don't own Fox. We don't own HBO, things like that. We don't own Netflix.
Even if you look at the regular news, overwhelmingly, white people commit the most crime just because of number-wise.
Overwhelmingly, yeah.
But if you look at the news, it's only black folks for the most part.
Right. It's like last week, I did a black fact at the end of it. Yeah, at the end of last week's episode, and I said, okay, I debunked that whole myth that there's more black people on welfare than white people. I said, no, that's BS. Okay, now if you look at the census, white people are 75.8% of the population. They say that black people are 13.6%, right? Now the amount of the percentage of welfare recipients for white people was 38%. The percentage for welfare recipients for black people, 39%. So there's a 1% difference in welfare recipients, but there's 75% of the population is you.
Mandrell.
So 38% of you is on welfare.
Mandrell, what's that?
Impossible.
What stat am I always reading off? Like the number one stat I read off. The child deletion stats, right?
Right.
If these women make up if they make up 6% of the population, how the hell do they make up for 38% of the child deletion?
You can't.
It's not possible.
It's not even mathematically possible.
It doesn't even make sense.
24 million white women are Decepticons.
Right. Like you can't I think they assume that black people don't look up statistics and we don't read. But it's like, I mean, that's why black people, I think for the most part, we don't really pay attention to that kind of nonsense, because that doesn't even make it at all. Like I said, it's mathematically impossible. So 38% of your population receive.
No, it's 30. It's 30. No. They say that so-called black women make up 6% of the population in the United States, but they make up 38% of all the child deletion.
Yeah, I know. I was talking about. I was talking about
66 million.
Yeah, and that's not possible. 6% of your population can't produce that many of them. No, we get thrown under the bus for a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we get blamed for a lot of stuff that we don't do. But again, it goes back to what Tom was saying. Like,
guys, it's only the women that get it.
I know, but what I'm saying is,
it's not 6% of the entire population is responsible. It's only the 38% of that particular group. It's not 13% of the population isn't 100% criminals.
No,
right?
I know.
They're trying to say 13% is responsible for 50%. That's implying that 100% of us are criminals. And that 100% of the women are going through the procedure right now. Guys, come on.
And the thing is, Teruse, that means that we would, like, every single one of us would have to be committing a crime, getting arrested for it, booked and locked up, released to go and do another crime, and we had to do all that at the same exact time, indefinitely. 24/7. We had to do like 8 different things at one time forever and not stop in order for that stat to be right. And even then, it wouldn't be right. Like, it's mathematically impossible. Black people do not commit more crimes than white people. It's not possible. Anyway, thank you, Tommy B. Jedi Mike.
Oh, that's great. Come on, Jedi.
Hieroglyphics.
Yeah. Listen, y'all. Going to solutions. Again, it's about 80% about what you do, and 20% how the world gonna respond to you, right? Because honestly, I think again, I grew up in the days where grandma used to tell me it's not what they call you, but who you answer to. So, I think we have to conduct ourselves, in a more proper way. And in the words of my Lord and Savior, he's an honest, loving, peace loving nigga like me. And I'll bust a cap on your butt and I'll say hallelujah if you call me that. And guess what? In the words of OG Speed, if you say that word to me, I'll knock your ass up, bust a cap in your ass, and I'll put you on a BUS, a fucking bus. That's called public transportation, right?
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, you go there, go down the welfare office, and also you go eat some damn stupidos because I don't understand why you guys are so damn small. So go ahead, guys, have a good night, and I'll see y'all.
Thank you. Shout out to OJ Speed in the chat.
Bro.
All right, Tarus, what's your final thoughts, man? If you can throw us a solution or two to just a solution or two out there to this. I know, like I said, I know this is a big issue. It would be a daunting task to actually solve it. But there's a lot to unpack to it. That's why I picked it, because it's very nuanced. There's a lot to it. So people could have picked any part of it to solve for. Any part of it, any leaf on any branch of this big, large tree. That's why I picked it. There's a lot of options to go on.
This is a very good topic to choose as well. By the way, thank you for inviting me to the platform. Good to see you, Mandrell, Shoo, Dollar Squad, Tommy, Black David, all you guys. My final thoughts is, Tommy is correct when the N-word itself is not really that big of a deal. My issue, though, is that when it comes to solutions, we have a much bigger problem on our hands. Look how much pushback people gave for simply being asked to give up a word. The easiest solution that would have a big, not huge impact, but a big impact on the image portrayed to the external forces was simply stop using a word, and look how much pushback we got from that. We got excuses for why another race does something, or another culture does something, or why someone else always does something, right? But I'm always confused, Mandrell, because I always thought you practice what you preach. I give my money to hard-earned channels like Black Men Unfiltered because don't we always say support Black business? I made sure to get this house that I just moved my family in because don't we always talk about generational wealth? We always, as a country, talk about energy independence. I'm about to get solar panels installed in my roof. Energy independence, renewable energy. Practice what you preach. You see, there's too many guys who just keep saying shit, but then when you look at the resume, well, okay. But then those are the same kind of dudes who, guess what? You ask them to do one thing, they can't do it. They got a bunch of reasons why. For example, and I'll land my plane here. No matter how you feel about weed, and I'm a stoner, you know that you got to pass a drug test to get that job, or you're not going to get it. You know that, and you still fail it anyway. That's not a white person's fault. That's not a Asian person making a N-word video's fault. That's not a Italian person's fault. That's your fault because you knew and you did it anyway. But that's the hardest thing, man, is the solution starts with you. It doesn't start with anybody else. The solution starts with you. It don't start with your kids. It starts with you. You got to change yourself because we live in a society where your kids can fact check you. They can see on the spot whether you full of shit or not. So it doesn't start with the kids anymore. It starts with you. You got to change it up. Those are my final thoughts.
All right, thank you, Tarus. And Noble, the world class. What say you on this thinking exercising critical thinking? And
he about to dog walk the shit out of you.
On law.
Is that what
so?
I'm sorry.
So yeah, my solution is definitely we need to lock up all the light-skinned people and Nigerians, and then put all the dark-skinned people on Ritalin, so because that'll knock out like 80% of the crime. Because it be y'all, definitely don't be us caramels.
Hey yo,
we just be tolerating y'all most of the
for the
time.
Nigerians, yes, but light skin, leave us alone.
Y'all started the shit. You know what I'm saying? Light skinned. What's her name? Queen Isabella. Yeah, so awesome topic tonight. You're welcome for having me up. I did you a favor, and
you're very kind. You're very kind.
Shushu, I love your hair. You look awesome.
Thank you.
But yeah,
sprinkle.
This is definitely a dope topic. I remember you talking about it last week, and basically a critical thinking exercise. And it's another example. People gotta active listening is extreme. I think I need to do another stream on active listening. You gotta actually listen to what's said and then respond to what's said, and don't get confused because you're ready to have an answer that isn't an answer. Because the topic is solution. So I think we need to research on what a solution is and just kind of stay right here for a little bit, because finding out what a solution is the solution. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but it's like people want to talk about these so-called white people, but when it comes to actually doing what they do, nobody does it. Because when they want to move something forward, they target children. I don't know.
Yeah, they do.
That's all they do. They don't do anything but, we need to come together. They don't do none of that dumb shit. They just start marketing to children like they're doing right now in front of our face. They want a gay society. They want nobody to have no type of nothing. They're marketing to children. They're fighting hard to children. That's the answer. I know they're annoying. I know they put boogies on you. I know they wake you up in the middle of the night. I'm a dad, but they are the solution. That's it. Every millennium after millennium after millennium, the children are the solution, non-negotiable. So yes. I'm a product of it. The older people of my generation was like, yeah, not this one. So this one is not going to that one. No, he's not going to this. You're going to do this, and they invested in me. And I'm 37, never drank, never smoked, no tattoos, never wore my pants off my ass, et cetera, because they said this one is going to be the one to move forward. That's the only way you do. I'm a product of it. So that's just how it's done. You have to find. So aside of that, parents like myself and parents that to be have to get together, have to do more networking than anything, and created some type of central intelligence, some type of intel exchanging thing, and work together. I think arranged marriages is a thing of the future, et cetera, but that's how it has to get done. Parents got to work together, network, and market what's better to children. I'm not a big fan of Nation of Islam, but my brothers always telling me that Elijah Muhammad said, we don't condemn a dirty glass, we just put a clean one up next to it and let the people decide. So the children are the new fresh water. You just need to make more clean water. And that's just it. More pure minds, clear hearts, innocence, and I'm giving them the right values, and that's it.
Right on. Yeah, that's true. That would be because the reason why they attack children, indoctrination.
Yep.
And children are more like from the age of birth to 7, they're just a total sponge.
They're super
a
genius.
Complete sponge. They're just they don't know the difference between right and wrong, what's right and what's wrong yet. Not really. Right. That's why you have to teach them right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? You have to tell them don't touch the stove. They can feel the heat and they feel the stove getting hotter and hotter the closer they get to it. But they still touch the stove. Isn't that right, Shu?
It's just she can't.
Isn't that right, Shu? When they're babies, yeah. See, she calmed down when I started talking about touching the stove. A baby's touching the stove. Yeah. Shoot, never touch the stove like that again. but at that age, they're just total sponges. They're absorbing information, absorbing. And that's why they go after children. They want to get it in their heads as early as possible and as often as possible. Mm-hmm. It's indoctrination.
One of the things they said, if you get if you get a child young, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Black David, did you get final thoughts?
I thought I did, but I don't think it's simple.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Now,
Jesus Christ.
Shu, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, cool. We're going to give our final thoughts now, Black David. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Don't know what happened to one of our videos tonight. We couldn't play for whatever reason. I'm going to find out shortly. Well, we couldn't play that video, but maybe I can play it later because it is relevant to not only this conversation, but other conversations as well. So maybe not next week, because next week's going to be about health. Next week's going to be about health and fitness. So what you think about tonight's exercise?
I think it's cool. That's cool.
It's just to try to get people to think in a different fashion than they have been doing. It wasn't to belittle anybody, wasn't it to make anybody look bad or nothing like that. It's just, okay, let me get this out, let me present this and see if I can keep people on track.
Right.
Tommy, like I said, two people like Tommy and Jedi Mike did it naturally.
Yeah.
Like Tommy even came up in contrast to it and ended up doing it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so him was just a natural thing to do.
Yeah.
Tommy's a fixer. That's why, you know what I'm saying? He's a problem solver.
Right.
You know, and like I say, that was the funniest part to me. Wasn't them videos. It was you can't fix it. See, the thing is blah 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 blah. So if you want to fix this part, you got to do this, and then you want to fix that, you got to do that. I was like, damn, he just came up with like several solutions right there.
Yes, that's right.
And like I said, told you in the beginning, I'm gonna have you do it without you even noticing. Tommy didn't even notice he did it.
Yeah.
You know, Jedi Mike, same thing.
Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying.
And even you. All I did was ask you one question. He's like, I don't know. I said, okay, hypothetically, if you had the answer, what would it be? And then, voila.
Yeah.
You came up with solutions.
Yeah.
It's all a state of mind and how you approach. It's your approach, how you approach a topic. You know, if you want to fix a problem, instead of looking at how do I fix this, you also would benefit from looking at a situation as in, okay, how do I not mess this up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, say you're in the Army and you're in EOD, explosive ordnance disposal. That means you disarm bombs, right? So you're doing that. Instead of saying, how do I disarm this bomb? Another approach would be, how do I not die? See what I'm saying? Because if that way doesn't work, and we've been talking, people have been talking one way.
I mean, just because, I mean, I just think for most people, so we can like not use such extreme circumstances. I just start with the basics. What is in my control and what is not in my control?
Right, there you go.
What can I do something about and what can I not?
Yeah, how can I not hurt this person's feelings?
And start there.
Yeah.
What can I do? What can I affect? What can I do something about and start there? Because the things that you can't control, the things that you can't change, I mean, don't worry about it because you can't do anything about it. You can't change it. But the things that the factors that are there that you can affect, that you can change, start there.
Right. You know, if you're in a relationship, this approach applies as well. How do I not hurt this person's feelings? You know, or because use that as in, say you want to buy them something nice. How do I make this person? You ask yourself, how do I make this person happy? Another approach would be,
I don't think how I gotta make this person happy. It's like, what do they like? What things are they interested in?
There you go. And see, thing is, that's
what
another,
you gotta do. Pay attention.
Right. That's another approach to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it starts with asking questions and thinking, critical thinking, and that's all this was. You know, you're not wrong at all. I'm not, you know, like people might look at this portion of the show and say, "Oh, they're debating." It's not a debate. My sister's not wrong at all.
Right.
Neither am I. But this because these are all critically a result of critical sitting here performing critical thinking right now.
Right.
Just different approaches to it, and you can't have a one-track mind, people. Hopefully, I did not offend anyone with those videos I played earlier. Those videos offended me. They did. They did. I'm not gonna, like I said, I don't like it.
Love of Jesus Christ and let it shoot right through you. Raise your hands in the air and scream hallelujah. Hey.
Anyway, did you see what she said?
Mars.
She said she turns the other cheek, but she turns around and shows her butt.
Yeah.
I said,
listen, it ain't no different than shot, booyah, roll call. My name is Rosa.
You can stop it.
Yeah, you can stop it. Anyway, everyone, this episode was different. This episode had a purpose other than just having a conversation. You know. So hopefully you guys learned a little about critical thinking now that you've seen it for yourself. You know, if you guys need me to flesh out what I do, what we did as far as pointing people in the direction of critical thinking, let me know. Hopefully you guys understood what was going on. If you didn't, let me know. I'll help you out. And I'll point you in the right direction. Anyway, everyone, thank you. Thank you for coming. And that's, by the way, Black Fact. We got our Black Fact of the week. Okay. Dr. Daniel Hale Williams. Do you know who that is?
I don't think so.
Dr. Daniel Hale Williams was a doctor in the late 1800s. And he performed the first successful heart surgery.
Okay.
Yeah. And he also invented the golf tee.
Interesting.
Yeah, but the thing and of course, how do you not hear about this guy? It's messed up, isn't it? He performed the first successful open heart surgery.
I knew the first successful open heart surgery was performed by a Black man. I just didn't remember.
You just didn't remember his name.
I'm horrible with names. Okay, so sorry.
No, not a problem. Not a problem. It happens. Like there's a lot of about Black history that I forget their names too. But then when someone reminds me of it, I'm like, oh yeah, I did know that. You know what I mean? It jogs your memory. That's all. Yeah, that's all this is. You just hadn't thought about it in forever. And I'm putting this Black Fact out there because I just want to kind of make it part of the show. You know, every now and then. Hey, that's Black excellence. In the late 1800s, he actually operated on somebody successfully. Successful open heart surgery.
Nigga, just end the show. Shit.
Like you don't have.
Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all for coming through. I love y'all. Shushu got a job to go to in the morning. Honey, Mandrell can roll over and get up and do whatever the hell he want to do tomorrow morning. I got to go. I've been patient enough. Thank y'all for coming out. God bless you. Please join us next week. Y'all have a good night. Thank you.
We addicted to fast cars, bad bras, late nights, last calls, alcohol, bad. Just scrolling through the phone log, hit them up, all my pick them up. We about to have a time tonight. Sure you keep that burner tuck, cause dick like the creep low. Say motherfuck the PO and the judge. But if they come with us, just know it's love. I'm saying just because. Yeah. Cause we been coming from welfare, medical, healthcare, living in the hood is hell here, hell yeah. I'm saying just because. Love. I watched my mama and my daddy struggle with the bottle. I watched my cousins and my brother banged out full throttle. Driver's seat, we bout that action, we ain't sitting idle. And even when they melanated, still a rival. I ain't about killing, but I'm about survival. And we be praying to the Lord, but still ain't read the Bible. And put that pedal to the floor with a savage title. Hope we don't crash out. Shawty out, seeking attention, she got that out.
What is freezing? Does he know you